All right, are we good? Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat Live. Today we're back with match week 2 of the 24-25 WSL season as champions Chelsea face newly promoted Crystal Palace. It's at Selhurst Park. The newcomers will be hoping to create an atmosphere, try and take on the try and take on the champions. Harry, are you excited for it?
Yeah, very much so. Great to see WSL football at Selhurst Park, and I'm sure it's going to be a very, very good game. I mean, for Crystal Palace, it's an occasion, isn't it? Welcoming a big side like Chelsea to Selhurst Park. They're in the WSL. It's a great feeling. It has been tough, and it is going to get tougher. Tottenham were very, very good. Tottenham battered them in that game, and again tonight is going to be a very, very similar kind of test, if not harder. And that is life in the WSL. It has been a harsh welcoming for Crystal Palace, but who knows tonight, if they can put on a good performance, if they can give their fans something to cheer about, that's the main point from tonight, is to show up, to put on a show, to try and take the fight to Chelsea at times in this game. For Chelsea, it's business as usual. Sonia Bompastor expects a win. She wants to take 2 wins from 2. They did well to beat a Villa side who set up pretty nicely. There were a few issues that need to be ironed out, but hopefully, Chelsea will be hoping that those issues have been dealt with today. But I think it's going to be a good game, realistically, because Palace are going to fight hard. Chelsea are going to want to go for the win and are going to try and play as well as possible. We're in for a good game.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a very interesting one. I think Palace were given a very difficult match in that opening one. I do think 4-0, though, didn't tell the whole story. I thought they were actually better than that in the Tottenham game. I thought that scoreline was slightly misleading. They did play well at times, but ultimately they did concede those goals, and they do now play the side that scored the most goals in the WSL last campaign. So it's going to be very difficult for them to stop Chelsea today, but I'm sure they'll give it a very good shot. Welcome Emily, welcome Ryzen as well. Good to see you in chat. We'll get into your messages in a moment. Let's start though by having a look at the lineups for this evening, because particularly for Chelsea, there's a lot of interesting changes. But we'll start with the hosts then. Laura Kaminsky using a 4-3-3 or 4-1-4-1 for this Palace side tonight. In goal, it's Yanez. In the back four, Green, Everett, Vehe and Gibbons. Then across in the midfield three, Woodham, Gelge and Blanchard. On one flank it's Carto, on the other Riley, leading the line Stengel. Now, what we saw them do against Tottenham was play a 5-back. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually looks more like a 5-back in today's game. We're just reading it based off what Footmoth had it in, but I could easily see them playing a 5-back once again, with Mila Gelge being able to play out wide. You've got Riley who can play out wide. You've got Carter who can play in the middle. So we might see a 4-3-3 today. But either way, it could be interesting.
Yeah, I think it is going to be very, very interesting. I do think that perhaps the 5-back in the future isn't the way to go. I think that against Tottenham, I get they want to sit defensive, but for me, they set themselves up for defeat, really. Tonight is a different matter. Tonight is just about defending. Realistically, they've got to work out where their strengths are, where their weaknesses are. They know tonight's going to be tough. There's no point trying to go for the game. You're going to get torn apart. The best for tonight, it's holding on, it's remaining compact and trying to give Chelsea as little chance as possible. It's going to be very defensive. They're going to spend most of the game in their half, but you never know. If you can get the ball to the right players in the right areas, they could do something. Paige Riley and Stengel, the likes, they're the type of players that if you give them an opportunity, they can take it.
Yeah.
And Chelsea, over the last season, haven't looked brilliant defensively. They have been prone to an error. So if you can put Chelsea's backline under pressure, try and force a mistake, and then the quality in front of goal for Palace can find the back of the net, they can make this a very interesting game today.
Yeah, definitely. Let's have a look at Bompastor's Blues then. It's a 4-2-3-1 as expected for Chelsea. In goal, Hannah Hampton retains a spot from the side that beat Aston Villa in the opening day. In the back four, Bronze, Bjorn, Bright and Lawrence. One change as Bjorn replaces Buchanan. In the pivot, Nuskin and Cuthbert keep their spots, as does Joanna Wrighting, Connor Reid on the right-hand side. We expect James to be in the 10 today with Wrighton on the left and Beaver Jones leading the line. Now, we could see Wrighton and James the other way around. We saw Wrighton try and play in that attacking midfield role against Villa. Do you think that Bompastor will try that again, or do you think she'll realise that just doesn't work?
Yeah, I'll be surprised if they try that again, because it didn't really work for Wrighton in the central area. But for Chelsea, every change makes sense. I think bringing Bjorn in for Buchanan makes sense, because you need that. Chelsea lack pace in the back line against Aston Villa. It just gives you a bit more security when you've got Natalie Bjorn in there, who's a bit faster than Bright, bit faster than Buchanan, who can recover if Chelsea need her to. Yeah. I think bringing in LJ is also a no-brainer. Lauren James is a phenomenal player. She was always going to come back into the side. No one is shocked to see her starting, and I think Beaver Jones for Ramirez makes sense. In the Villa game, it was going to be a physical battle. You wanted Ramirez up there to fight with the centre halves. Tonight, it's all about getting that ball in behind. Chelsea aren't we getting it to the byline and crossing it in. Tonight, it's going to be in behind into Aggie Beaver Jones. Can she run onto it? Can she take it through on goal and score? Chelsea's pace in the front line is going to be their biggest weapon tonight.
Yeah, definitely so. Let's have a look then at some of the messages in chat. Emily asking, what are your predictions for trophy winners? I think Lyon win the Champions League, City to win the WSL, Chelsea win the FA Cup, and Liverpool to win the League Cup. Asked last night, but then it was full time. We did talk obviously about the WSL. We both said Chelsea would win it in our predictions video. Champions League, it's tough to say. Tough to say because obviously the groups. I mean, if it's anyone other than Chelsea, Lyon, Barca, as we were talking a bit about last night, I think it would be a surprise. Those three will be the favourites going into this tournament, and then FA Cup, League Cup. I think we'll probably. I personally think it'll probably go to either Chelsea, Arsenal, City. I don't think we'll see a surprise.
It'll be very, very interesting to see what happens.
But yeah, will be interesting. Emily already getting in there with an early 4-0 prediction for Chelsea. Alyssa Silva says, go Blues. Good to see the support for Chelsea in chat tonight. Chris saying, glad James is playing for my fantasy team. Same, I had her on captaincy last week. She came on for 10 minutes, got me 1 point double to 2. Very disappointing stuff. But she is in my team tonight. I didn't captain her though. So that's gone really well.
That has. I made 2 changes this weekend, and I took out 2 Chelsea players for 2 Chelsea players. I had Charles, who was injured, and Nuskin, who for me is playing too deep to warrant the price. So I brought in Millie Bright for Charles and Guro Wrighton for Nuskin. I'm taking a gamble on Guro. I think Guro Wrighton could really provide. If she has hopefully she's back out on the left, she can have a really, really strong season. Yeah. I've got Canaride already in there. She scored last week. She's had a very, very good start to the season and has looked really sharp in pre-season. So overall, I'm pretty positive about my team this week.
Yeah, I made 2 transfers as well. I took out Nikita Paris and I brought in Naomi Mouchon because I believe in Leicester, and I think that she might just get a goal against Arsenal.
Yeah,
I think Arsenal showed they can be transitioned on, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. I'm back in Mouchon, and in defence, I transferred out Bernabé and I can't remember now who I went for. I'm going to have a look. But, yeah, very much so. But yeah, I did make a transfer in my backline. I'm going to have a look at my team quickly. But I want some points this week. I want Kasparai because 5.5 million into that Manchester City defence. I am worried about the rotation risk, but with Leila Ouahabi looking like a doubt for this game, I thought, well, there's a good chance he's going to be starting. And I think they'll play Kasparai and Alexandri. If they don't play Kasparai, I'll be fuming. We'll find out what happens. And also, Kasparai didn't play Paris FC. So she's been rested.
Maybe.
So I think there's a very good chance that she will start. I put my captaincy on Turland this week because I think Everton are really bad and I think Turland's probably going to score. She generated the 4th highest XG in the WSL in game week 1, so I think that she's got to take those goals eventually. She's a very good forward and United look very good against West Ham. I think they'll look equally good against Everton. I think I'm probably going to transfer out next game week because United have a bit of a tough run after that. I think they play Chelsea and then, is it Tottenham, Liverpool? I think they've got a bit of a difficult run, so I think I'm going to transfer out, maybe bring in Jutta Rantala. He's got some really nice fixtures. But anyway, on tonight's game, Ryan says, good news, they're wearing my favourite kit, bad news, I put my triple captain on Ramirez. Yeah, that is tough. That's my issue with having Chelsea players, is that there's so many strong options. As we saw last week with Lauren James being benched, it's very difficult to say he's going to be playing. So I think if you've got a Chelsea forward, you have to have players that are going to come in and as rotation options on your bench. So you've got to have a strong bench. HP saying, kept switching captaincy between Kyna and Lauren for 5 minutes for the deadline. I went with Kyna. I hope I don't regret it. She's been in electric form. I think, if Chelsea are going to win tonight, she's going to play a part in that, even if Lauren James does play a bigger part. So will be interesting to see. Luke C says, should be a cricket score tonight given they thrashed Bristol City last season. And do you think Chris Wise can give Chelsea a problem going forward? I think that's a bit disingenuous to Palace. I think Palace are much better than Bristol City were last year. Not only in the way they dominated the Women's Championship, but in how they've recruited this summer. I think they look a better team. They weren't great against Tottenham in game week 1, I'll give you that. But I think they'll put up a fight tonight. We saw them fight Chelsea pretty well in the FA Cup last season. So I think they'll put up a good fight tonight. We'll see. Chelsea are a very good team and they'll be keen to prove their mettle after what wasn't a convincing performance against Aston Villa. I
think with Palace, that Tottenham game, 4-0 looks really bad, but I think when you break it down, they held on for a large portion of the game. there was a good period. I mean, when Tottenham didn't score their first goal, it took them time to get their first goal. Yeah. And then also you add on that the fact that Brooke Aspin got sent off towards the end. I think those two kind of things, when you forget about those things, the result looks really bad. But when you consider, the full game, Palace are going to give it a fight, and that's the difference.
It was only 1-0 at half time.
Exactly. And if they'd held on to the second half, kind of ran away from them, which is what you'd expect because they're a championship side coming up. The pace is be quicker. They're going to tire easier. So towards the end of the game, they did start to fall away. I think we could be in for a similar situation tonight. I think Palace, especially they're at Selhurst Park. It's a huge occasion. Their first home game in the WSL. I think they're going to put up a big fight. I just don't know if they can put up that fight for 90 minutes, especially against this Chelsea side who have a lot of quality.
Yeah, indeed. And I don't think they've got the same players or same tactics that we saw Aston Villa use last week that really gave Chelsea a difficult time in the back line. So it'll be interesting to see. Again, I think if you can drag Bronze out of position, there's a lot of space down that left flank, as we saw Paulo Thomas do last week. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Well, Kenzo Dali drag her out of position, and then we saw Thomas use that position. So yeah, going to be interesting.
Yeah, no, definitely so. I think that, and that's the thing. If Palace could, that's the thing is Villa did well. They attacked to defend. Palace, I don't think we're going to see that. But if they can, I think the thing with Palace is, and what's different to Bristol City is that with Bristol City, if it wasn't Amelie Thestrup, they weren't going to score the goal. Whereas with Palace, I think that they've got a better quality in front of goal, so they can score if they get the opportunity.
I think it's really hurting them that Elise Hughes is out for the start of the season. I think if they had her, then maybe they'd be in a better position. I also think the fact they only got Pritchard on deadline day has left them a little bit short in attack. So I do think they're a little bit blunt in that position. Obviously, they are without Lexi Potter for tonight, which is a big loss. Brooke Aspin suspended and ineligible to face her parent club, so sort of damned twice there. Georgia Fox's injury, another one that's really hurt Palace. So they've not had the perfect start to the season. Chelsea and Tottenham as their opening two games, really tough fixtures. For tonight, it's a roll of a dice for Palace. They lose nothing by losing, really. If they win, what a fantastic result.
Yeah,
will be interesting to see.
It's performance for Palace. If they come out tonight and only lose 2 or 3-0, they can come out and say they gave Chelsea a game, that they put up a fight. If they end up tonight getting absolutely tanked, then I think you can start to ask questions. But if they keep it respectable tonight, I think that shows they've got what it takes. And that's a bit weird because when a side loses 3-0, you wouldn't or 3-0, you wouldn't think they've got what it takes. But when it's this Chelsea side, that is kind of the standard, especially with players like Lauren James back in the team.
Yeah, indeed. Well, the players are making their way out onto the field now. We didn't even have time to discuss the UWCL group stage, so we might touch on that later in the stream. But both sets of players out on the field now as we build up to kick off. A couple minutes to go. Harry, let's get into some predictions then. If you're watching along at home, get involved in the live chat, tell us your prediction, but I'll start with you in the studio. Harry, what is your prediction?
I'm going to go for a Chelsea win. No surprises there, but I think Crystal Palace won't make it easy for Chelsea. I'm going to go 3-0 to the Blues, so one less than Palace conceded last week to Tottenham. I think Chelsea have still got a few things they need to iron out. I think that will show at times. Palace, they're going to put up a fight. I think it'll be 1-0 at half time, and that'll be a Canary goal. And then the second half, it'll be goals from Guro Reiten and Lauren James to really seal the win. But overall, a decent performance from Chelsea. They're going to get the win across the line, but I think Palace will make a game of it.
Yeah, indeed. It is looking like a 5-2-3 or a 5-4-1 for Palace tonight. Yeah. So very defensive. Going to be interesting to see what they can do this evening. As for my prediction, I'm going to say, I want it to be emphatic tonight. I'm going to say 5-0 Chelsea. I think they've got the quality to pull off a result like that. And I think Bompastor's side, they looked a little lacking in front of goal against Aston Villa, and they'll be sure to put that right, I think, in a game like this. I will say a Lauren James opener and a Canary goal before the half, and then I'll say another 2 from James to secure her first hat-trick in her first start.
Yeah.
And I will say, is Macario on the bench tonight?
Yes.
I'll back a Macario.
Macario goal. Fair enough. But yeah, it's a big night for Chelsea. And it does look like Guro Reiten is going to play in the central role with James out wide.
Well, that would make sense considering where Reiten played last week, and we know how good James is off that left-hand side. I just think James is better in a central area and Reiten's better in a wide area. I don't get why we're forcing Reiten to play in attack midfield. It doesn't work.
No.
How many times do you have to try this experiment to know it doesn't work?
Yeah,
it's frustrating. Agreed. But I think James is better in that central area where she can pick up the ball, where she has a bit more of... She's closer to goal, and we know her ability to take shots from range. And obviously with Wrighton out in the wide area, she's much better at getting down the touchline, much better at taking players on than she is at operating in those central positions. So I don't really understand it so far. But I guess we'll see what Wrighton can do tonight. Yeah, and I'm loving the pink and yellow kit as always, or the black kit with the pink and yellow highlights. Lovely kit.
Yeah, very much so. Chelsea's third shirt mixed with the Champions badge. It's a sight that Palace may fear, but tonight they're going to give it a fight. Realistically, though, as you say, you talk about Chelsea's quality, Wrighton, James, Canneride, Beaver Jones. That front four is ridiculously strong.
Yeah,
and it's they are going they look to score goals tonight. Palace. Yanez made 12 saves last week against Tottenham, and they still lost 4-0. That shows how much pressure they were under in that Tottenham game. They've got to get it right tonight. They've got to make sure their keeper isn't under so much pressure. Equally, she's going to be important. She's going to have to make big saves. Let's see what Palace can do tonight.
Yeah, Paul said 9-0 as a prediction. I can't see it getting that high, Paul, but I guess we'll see. We are about to get underway here at Selhurst Park then for the first match of Game Week 2 of the WSL season. It will be Chelsea to get us started tonight, waiting for the referee's whistle. And we do take a knee and a stand against all form of discriminations before we get underway for tonight's game. And it will be Aggie Jones to get us started from the middle. Ginocks are back and we're underway here at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace versus Chelsea in the WSL. The champions facing the newly promoted Crystal Palace. Palace's first home game in the WSL. And Chelsea starting off with the ball at the back here. Natalie Bjorn. Now across to Bright. Moves it out wide, finds Lucy Bronze. Chelsea looking to come down this right-hand side. A pass into Beaver Jones. Lovely ball into Cuthbert. Cuthbert goes wide and Lauren James. Chelsea coming forwards early on here. James gets a chance at goal and it's blocked up into the hands of Yanez. But all immediately there, Chelsea putting Crystal Palace under pressure. Yeah,
30 seconds are gone, and I think without that little deflection off of Everett, that could have been a Lauren James goal. It's a very, very important touch from the centre half because LJ was lining up that far corner. And when she lets fly, you expect it to find the very top corners.
Yeah, very, very talented players. Lauren James, that's a bit of a mess from Lucy Bronze in there. Recovered by Bright. Now Wrighton scrapping away for possession in attacking midfield. Managed to get it to Ashley Lawrence. And now here's Bjorn.
And that's the thing from Chelsea. You think, as much as they want to go score goals and want to look emphatic, I think it's cutting out those mistakes as well. Last week against Villa, there were a few errors. They don't want to be sloppy today, Chelsea. Even if they go on to win, they want to avoid making sloppy. I'm not saying they're going to lose the ball, but even those sloppy passes, you don't want to be making them. You want to cut them out.
Yeah, this is the other thing that frustrates me about James playing in that wide role is that she tends to get dragged deep, and that's not where we want to see Lauren James.
Yeah.
So I don't really get that, but it's Palace coming forwards now. Then ball moved out wide. And they're looking to try and progress it. Gibbons. Pass being forced back here. Vea. Now Everett. And they're under pressure. Goes back to Shea Yanez. Yanez with the ball at her feet. Vea. So it does look a bit more like a 4-back when they're in possession, Palace. They push on the left back. Is it Woodburn in there? And ball over the top, and this is something for Stengel to get after. She'll take aim from range, but it's a bit of a wayward effort. Might be kept alive by India Page. Riley can't quite get there.
I don't mind that though. I think what that whole move has shown, talking about the fullback, talking about that ball over the top, is that Palace, perhaps they realised that. I think sitting back in this league, you're basically just committing yourself to defeat. Sometimes you've got to go for it. Sometimes you've got to be a little bit more. I'm not saying they're going to go gun ho for the game, but just be a little bit more positive when you get the ball. And that is mainly, but prime example of why Chelsea brought in Natalie Bjorn today instead of Buchanan, because of that pacing behind. Because Stengel probably wins, if that's a race between Stengel and Buchanan, Stengel probably wins the foot race.
Cuthbert's dragged down in there, and that will be a foul. Blanchard a little too overzealous. So Chelsea free kick actually has been given a card. She did kick that ball away. I did think that is she has kicked the ball away there. I didn't know if it'd be punished early on, but it has been, and that's where you've just got to be switched on about the situation. There's no need in the 3rd minute to kick that away from Annabelle Blanchard. She's just frustrated. That was completely unnecessary.
You've got a referee who has a reputation for booking everything, and it's just one of those. Yeah,
It's not even it's quite obvious.
Yeah.
Quite obvious what
That's
she's
really
done there.
silly.
Blanchard trying to flick it towards Paige Riley here, who just about keeps that in touch. No, she doesn't. That'll be a Chelsea throw. Lawrence.
And now you've got one of your midfielders playing 87 minutes on a yellow card.
Yeah, not ideal.
And Emily Heaslip won't hesitate to get the second one out if she needs to.
James back to Hannah Hampton.
Yeah, I think for Chelsea tonight is about performance, but also control. They want to have control today. Even if they only score 3 or 4 goals, if they control the match from now to 90 minutes, that will please Bompastor.
That's a good ball over the top, and that's something for Carnery to give chase to. Players in the box, you can find them. Finds Aggie Beaver-Jones. Crucial tackle from Everett. Stops it momentarily. Still not dealt with by Palace, and that deflects off their own player. And out for a corner, but that was almost an own goal. They've got to be better at communicating in there, Palace.
And this is nothing. This is just pure communication. Everett does well initially to stop Beaver-Jones getting the shot away. Someone just put it, and again
let the goalkeeper claim it, but they don't. And it's a miscommunication.
It's so bizarre.
Miscommunication there. They're getting flustered. Chelsea are putting pressure on.
Yanez should be screaming for that ball. And if she is screaming, then the defender should just stop.
A corner now from the Blues. Lauren James into the box. Bronze can't quite find it. Here's Carnery, takes aim, doesn't quite get out of her feet, and it is blocked. Bronze will try and keep it alive. Moves it backwards though. Lawrence. Chelsea, welcome to the stream by the way, going 4-0 Chelsea. Philip asking what's the lineup for the Blues. In goal it's Hampton, back four of Bronze, Bright, Bjorn and Ashley Lawrence. A pivot of Cuthbert and Nusken. On the right hand side it's Carnery. On the left hand side it is Lauren James, right in attacking midfield, and Beaver-Jones leading the line. And that's a nice exchange on the right hand side again. Lauren James putting it into the box. So she's gone over to the right momentarily. Then I think after that corner, her and Carnery just ending up on the wrong sides.
I think that
Bronze.
You get that fluidity from that Chelsea front three.
Cuthbert now can move it wide into Ashley Lawrence. Has options down the line. Tries to play. Gura right in behind. Does find right into the box. Beaver-Jones can't quite get there. It is then cleared away by Woodham in there. But they're under the cosh here, Palace.
That's the right ball from Guro, right? And I don't think it's a lovely ball through from Ashley Lawrence. I think Guro makes the right ball.
Do better there.
I think and Guro's arguing there. Beaver-Jones should be busting a gut to get onto the end of that. That
just got to be aware of it.
Yeah.
Bronze finds James. Lovely footwork from James. You can come inside now. Takes aim and it's just over. But we're already seeing the danger Lauren James possesses. It's a lovely bit of footwork, wriggles out of a really tight space, and Palace just step off her.
Yeah, and you can't afford to do that.
Not far away at all from James.
You won't get away with that again, Crystal Palace. It's a certain type of player. I said the same when Haircon last night let Calrente cut in. If Palace let Lauren James cut in, they're going to regret it soon. Sooner rather than later. Yeah. And when Kaminsky will see that, and she'll be so angry because that would have been probably the first bullet point on the clip on the whiteboard is to not let Lauren James cut inside and shoot.
Well, don't let her do anything.
Yeah, if Lauren James touches the ball, you win it back immediately.
Yeah. Get someone on her, just following her around the pitch. The problem is because she's in so many different positions, it's difficult to do that because of the fluidity of her movement. Yeah. But Brighton pressing high here. Everett and Vea upping their pass success rate. Here's Blanchard. Bringing it forwards. That's lovely. From India Paige Riley, she's carrying the ball forwards, tries to find Kato. Just a bit of a miscommunication there. Hampton will come and collect that ball.
Yeah, I think Riley needs to realise that she didn't need to pass it there. She didn't. She's forced the ball through there a little bit. But again, Chelsea are so attacking. There was Riley found the space there between the Chelsea pivot and the Chelsea backline. Because you've got Nuskin and Cuthbert in there. They're quite high, and there's a nice gap there that she managed just to drift into there.
Yeah, indeed. Alex Chu saying these third kits are beautiful. Yeah, we spoke about them earlier. The Chelsea third kit, absolutely gorgeous. Here is Lucy Bronze. Manages to find Sjoka Nusken. Now across to Bjorn. Chelsea camped in this Crystal Palace half. Can they make the pressure count? Here's Lawrence. Tries to take it to the touchline here, Ashley Lawrence. Good defending from Paige Riley. And I think there we're seeing where Chelsea are missing Niamh Charles. Yeah. Because if that's Charles as a ball into the box, and then what comes from that, who knows? Yeah. Actually says, did you guys already make UWCL group predictions? No, we meant to talk about that in the preview, but we had a lot to talk about in the first 15 minutes, so we might touch on that at half-time if we get a moment. But yeah, interesting group stage. Here's Lauren James. Now Bright. Cuthbert. Paul Jones says Kaminsky should have put players on the pitch that could compete with James. It's very difficult, to be fair, to put players on that can compete with James. There aren't many of them out there. Wrighton, that flick doesn't quite come off. Paige Riley panics a bit there and just smashes it out of play.
Just overcomplicates it a little bit there from Guro. Her and Canary were playing a nice passage, and then she thought, I'll tell you what, I'll do one more, and then just one too many. But Chelsea is very positive. Everything is playing the ball. There's no negative passing from Chelsea whatsoever.
Here's Kana Reid, finds Beaver Jones. Chelsea trying to make something of this opportunity. Cuthbert, nice work. Tries to find Kana Reid, goes herself though. Ball into the box, but it's over everyone. James might just keep this in, you know. And she has done brilliantly there to keep it alive. Lauren James. Lawrence puts it back into the box. It's overhit again though. Header away from Palace. It's a clearance that hasn't worked out. It is then cleared by Gibbons in there. And now they'll look to break forwards. And they have got the pace and attack here, Palace. Blanchard can't quite get that under her control. James with a road challenge. It forces Blanchard backwards. And now Palace settling into possession. Veya.
Palace did better there. Rather than just smash it long and hope for the best, they played out a little bit.
That's the ball over the top. It's something for Stengel. Stengel, to chase here. She rushes that ball into the box.
Yeah.
That's something easy for Chelsea to deal with. Paul Jones says she has him on the bench. Who would you play then, Paul, to compete with Lauren James today on the Palace bench? Who would you suggest? Let us know. Alex saying, when will Charles come back? She's been involved in light training for about a week now, I think. I mean, I remember the speculation because there was a video from the Chelsea socials, which I was coming forward to. Kana Reid, Cuthbert. There's a video on the Chelsea socials of her playing rock, paper, scissors, and everyone's like, well, clearly her arm's fine. Get her in the team. Here's Lawrence out in this wide left space, though. Delivers the ball towards the back post. It just goes over everyone again. Bronze will keep it alive. Delivers it first time. Headed away by Veya. It's going to fall awkwardly for Lauren James. Great blocking from Nusken to give the space for James to strike the ball, and it takes a deflection and it's in. I think that's been disallowed, though. Yeah. It's for a head injury for Veya.
I think it's been pulled back for the initial foul on...
I think it's Nusken blocking Veya, but I don't... There's nothing...
She can't do that. Yeah, because... I mean, Paz get away with one because the initial player getting out to Bronze was jogging out to her and it was really, really sloppy. Just let her put it in. And then as the ball's falling... I think this is the right decision. As the ball's falling to James, I want to watch that. Nusken just stand... You can't block... The player going out to press James is completely blocked off by Nusken. Blanchard's going out to her.
That's not Veya. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's the head injury for Veya before... It's from the initial contact in the box there. Between teammates. I think that's a perfectly good goal that's been ruled out. It strikes the player and he slip blows the whistle before it goes in the back of the net. So the two Palace defenders make contact while trying to clear the ball away. Veya has a head injury. She stops and holds her head and then the ball strikes Veya and goes in.
Yeah,
That's an interesting decision from Sky to show Heaslip's name there after a decision that could be seen as controversial. I find that an odd one. Either you call the foul, the injury as quickly as possible.
It was the head injury, but she didn't see it until the shot happened. Which I think is alright. She blew the whistle before the ball went in at the end of the day.
True. I think it's an odd one. Against a team like Crystal Palace, you can always... The thing is, because it's Palace, and I think Chelsea are the favourites tonight, the argument will be, well, it's okay, because Chelsea will probably score later on. But that is just a frustrating call there.
Yeah, but I think it's the right one.
There's much wrong with that.
Well, yeah, it's a head injury. Chelsea have done nothing wrong, but it's a head injury. A head injury is a head injury.
I get the official ruling, but that doesn't make any logical sense. If Chelsea cause a head injury and score from it, then I get that. But sometimes we just need to use logic. And it's not like Chelsea played on ages after the head injury.
Yeah, but
it's a frustrating.
And I think the other point of view though is also that because it comes off Veya, she doesn't know that's happening because she's holding her head, which she's going to do because it's a head injury. And realistically, she wouldn't have had her back turned to the thing. She would have just blocked it. Is the other argument.
True. I mean, if you've got a head injury, probably go down is the best thing to do, rather than stand in the middle of the penalty box holding your head. But that's all right. Anyway, Alex G saying, is Aggie good enough for starting 11?
Yes.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Top quality player. She only didn't start much last season because there was such quality in the Chelsea side.
Yeah.
I think this season with Fischel and Kerr both out to start the season, we're definitely going to see Aggie and Ramirez rotate in that striker role.
Yeah, definitely.
I just find it odd the decision to play her tonight. I think they've got that the wrong way round. I know Villa's a tough opposition, but for me the space against Aston Villa was in behind, and the space tonight isn't.
Yeah.
And so I'd rather play Beaver Jones against a team that are playing a higher line and there's space for her to exploit in behind than play against Crystal Palace, where they are so deep, it's very difficult. That's another soft one in there from Heaslip. A lot of people in chat
card
agreeing
for
that
Lauren James as well.
I don't see how this is a yellow card, let alone a foul.
I'm not sure about that one. That one, I admit, I'm not sure about. I don't think it's a yellow card.
I don't see the foul, let alone a card.
If it's a foul, it's a foul.
No,
she does stand on the top of her. She stands on top of her foot. You can see she stands on top of her foot, but it's not a yellow card.
Lauren James into the book then. Early on in this one.
-1 for all fantasy players.
Very, very true.
Unlucky everyone.
But an interesting first 15 minutes here then at Selhurst Park. It feels like the flow of the game's just been disrupted here. Because we had the stoppage obviously for the head injury for Veja. And now this. Just slowing the game down a bit. And Palace with a dead ball situation to try and make something of here.
Eventually, once they put it into the box.
So just going to focus on Heaslip all night. Instead, put it into the box by Gales. And that is dealt with by Chelsea. Carnery tries to break away. Good from Woodham, but that's then one back by Carnery.
That's silly from Cat. She cut. She's won the ball. It's not, it's that silly because she's won the ball. She doesn't need to do that.
I'm not sure she had it yet. To be fair, Woodham got in front of her again. There is a nudge, but it does.
But she nudged her through the back though.
These are soft at the moment.
Well, the problem is Chelsea are now...
Chelsea are frustrated by the fact the goal's been chalked off. They're putting in fouls that are 50-50 and Heaslip's going to give them every time.
Yeah,
because that's the type of ref Heaslip is. But Chelsea know that. You have to be a little more careful because Emily Heaslip will blow her whistle at anything.
That's the problem. I think if Palace do it, it goes the other way. The problem is at the moment...
Right,
it's Chelsea,
India Page Riley, now Veja. Ball into the box, headed away again by Millie Bright. And it's one back in there by Nuskin. James. Nice turn. Overcomplicates it a little there, but it's Lauren James. So she's going to get away with it. Cuthbert plays the ball through and they can't quite make it work up there. I'm not sure why she's gone quite so direct.
Cuthbert's got to send that back out with Canary, I think. She made a pretty nice... She plays it into her and then she spins her player.
If it was more like a give and go, I don't know why she's gone so direct with this because... to pull that off would have been very difficult.
And tries to flick it on her chest because that's the only thing she can do, and Beaver Jones isn't going to get onto it anyway.
If she gets the chest right, that's a fantastic bit of play. Don't get me wrong.
Incredible.
It's a very difficult bit of play.
But that's her only option in that scenario is to get some chest flick on.
Or chest it down. Take it herself.
Yeah.
Bjorn.
Volley.
Here's Lawrence, Natalie Bjorn.
Chelsea just need to find their rhythm again. Palace.
What we're seeing again is what we've seen so many times when you play James out on the left hand side is she's less effective. And what we're seeing with Brighton is that when you play her in attack midfield, she's less effective. I don't know how many times we have to do this experiment before we learn Lauren James is brilliant as attack midfielder. Let's just play her there, and Brighton's brilliant as a winger. Let's just play her there. I don't get why we keep seeing the experimentation of James on the left. She can play there, don't get me wrong. She's a very good left winger, but I think she's more effective in attack midfield. And I think Brighton's very ineffective in attack midfield. But brilliant on the left-hand side. Weird conundrum. Here's Bronze. Flicks it to Carnereid. Now Nuskin. Ball through to Cuthbert. Holds on to it well. Nuskin. Now James. She finds Wrighton. It does seem Wrighton and James may have swapped positions, at least momentarily. Lawrence. Nuskin. Here's Bronze. The other issue Chelsea are finding is they keep playing it out wide to their left back, who is right-footed, so she can't cross the ball. Great touch from Carnery to Cuthbert, trying to take it in a stride. Here's Carnery, bursting into the box, takes aim. Good save from Yanez. And a necessary save. Chelsea, once again, carving through Palace.
Yeah. Canary does well to read. You know, I mean, the first pass to Bronze, to Cuthbert, is superb, and then just to read where it's going to go and pounce on it the second time is good. Could do better with the shot, but it's not too bad. Straight at the keeper, and a decent save from Yanez.
Yeah,
very capable goalkeeper. She's going to make saves tonight.
Yeah, Alex saying, hope Vika gets some minutes in the second half. Yeah, same. I hope we see Vika captain tonight. We saw obviously such high praise from Sonia Bompastor in the pre-season. I think we'll see her get involved this campaign.
And I think the Chelsea pivot, one like it was last year, will be rotated pretty often.
That's not a huge number of options now. With Ingle out, with us not really knowing what's happening with Jean-Francois or Bartel, because I think Jean-Francois, and I think they're both still injured actually at the moment, there is only Vika captain.
Yeah.
So it's a bit light in that position. Here's Wrighton, tries to flick that forward. It's not exactly worked out. Gonna fall again for Guro, and it's blocked. And then smashed away by Katrina Vea.
Just overconfident. I feel like Chelsea are just trying to force it a little bit, which could work, you know, and it may pay off. But just some unnecessary pieces of play at the moment, which it's just breaking up a little bit. It's not flowing for Chelsea in attacking areas.
Yeah. Yi Chen Louis saying, when will LJ get me some points? Well, I think, chance for Chelsea, it's a good ball in. Beaver Jones does really well to direct it goalwards, saved well by Yanez. Yeah. But yeah, I think Emily Heaslip has Khadija Shaw captained and doesn't have Lauren James because she's already chalked off a goal and given her an unnecessary yellow card. So if we can investigate Heaslip for that, please. A fantasy WSL manipulation.
You look at the top of the overall league, it's like Emily Heaslip.
Heaslip's army.
Referee United. And she's got Captain Shaw. And
when City play, she's miles off. She doesn't even pay attention to it. Bronze. That's one back in there. Bronze gave it away, but Nuskin manages to win it back. Bright will go back to Hampton, and Chelsea can settle back into possession. That is a poor pass from Hampton, just between Bjorn and Lawrence. Chance now. Paige Riley. Good stop. Brilliant stop from Hampton to make up for her mistake. And the ball is smashed clear to Lauren James, who will look to take on Kato here.
And this is what I meant at the start when I said Chelsea want to cut out the errors.
Pass from Lauren James, but it's recovered by Bright. Just sloppy.
Yeah,
just really sloppy from Chelsea. It's just too complacent, too nonchalant.
Hannah Hampton had a few misplaced passes against Villa as well, and a goalkeeper who's one of the best in the world with the ball at her feet is just not looked comfortable this season.
Gets it down well, cleared away.
And she did well, you know, to recover with the save, and it's to be fair, it's a well-worked shot from Paige Riley. Hampton just gets the pass wrong. Riley does really well to pounce on it and then to drive at Bjorn, and it's not a bad shot from that angle. It forces a good save out of Hampton.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, you're right. That is just too nonchalant. Hampton.
She's not really looked where she's passing it. It's just in the general direction of where Lawrence and Bjorn are. You know, it's got to be more. Got to be a better quality pass there.
Just a little bit laboured from Chelsea.
Into Bjorn. Bjorn to Lauren James. Lovely pass. Into Nuskin. Nuskin's going to lift that over the top for Lawrence. The issue with Chelsea's system is that we're getting Lawrence in great positions, which is great when it's Niamh Charles, but it's not Niamh Charles tonight. Lauren James just drags it wide of the far post. Lawrence laid it wonderfully into James, who's drilled a shot across goal, and it's just wide of the mark.
Yeah.
Not bad at all from Lauren James there, though.
Better from Chelsea. And I think that's the first time they've let Ashley Lawrence come inside.
Well, it's also the first time Lawrence hasn't tried to take the player on and instead has laid it off to James.
And that's not a bad effort from LJ.
Considering the body's in front of her as well, it's been very difficult to finish from that angle.
Yeah. I tell you, that's why I just thought it was going to find the far corner.
Yeah.
But Palace, we're halfway through the first 45 and they are still in this game. They've done well. Similarly to how they did last week against Tottenham. They're fighting hard, Palace. They are putting up a fight.
Yanez smashes it forwards. It's headed on. Cuthbert tries to get the ball down there, but can't.
Yeah, important flick on that, because that goal kick did not have enough on it at all. And without that flick on, Palace would have still been under quite a bit of pressure.
Alex saying Hampton should stay as England's number one because Earps is not good enough against Juventus for PSG. I think Earps will keep her spot for now. I'll be intrigued to see if that changes throughout the course of this season. Obviously, we've got friendlies against Germany and USA coming up in October and November, and other friendlies, of course, as well. I think play South Africa in October as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of friendlies, a lot of time for players to prove themselves, and obviously performances at club level will have an impact on the England pecking order. But it's going to be interesting because I think realistically there's 3 goalkeepers with an opportunity to play for England. I'd say that's Keating, Hampton, and Mary Earps. I think Mary Earps, by going to PSG, has strengthened her chances of keeping it. I think she stayed at United, and United have got worse this season. I think there was a chance she may have lost that position. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But I agree, Earps did not play well against Juventus. And not being in the Champions League, it's not great. The issue for Keating, though, now is that she is possibly in rotation.
I don't know what's going on.
Yamashita started the first two competitive games. We saw Keating come in last night against Paris FC, but that's just a bit of a weird one for me. I think Keating was the best goalkeeper in the league last season.
Yeah.
And yet, they've replaced her for Yamashita, who I thought looked quite error-prone in the games I've watched so far.
I'd expect Keating to start on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if she didn't.
Bjorn. Nusken. Bjorn. Nusken. It just feels like Chelsea haven't got enough players back to actually play out from the back.
Yeah.
They're so committed forwards, they've just forgotten they need to defend. Beaver Jones plays out wide to Kana Reid. She's taking that too narrow there, and Gibbons can get back in. Cleared away by Gibbons. I'm not sure who she thinks that's taken a deflection off. That will be a Chelsea throw.
Yeah, Kana Reid just she tries to take it too positive, anything with her touch, and just knocks herself too far ahead of the defender.
Yeah. It's Kana Reid. Goes back to Bronze. To Bright, sorry. Just man says we need a goal before half time. We don't need one, but I'd like to see us get one to be confident. I think we've been the better team here. Palace, the only chances Palace have been gifted to them by Chelsea. Bronze win the ball back in there. Now Kana Reid, Cuthbert, back to Lucy Bronze. Plays it into Sjoka Nusken. James. Now Bronze. Back to James. Excellent stuff from Lauren James, just lifting that over the top into Kana Reid. Can she make something happen now? Ball in, blocked in there by Gibbons. That will be a Chelsea corner.
Yeah, again, Chelsea just turning on the... Every time they move that ball a little bit quicker, they should have that advantage, and that's what they've done there. They're just moving that ball quicker.
That's another one for James on a yellow card. Got to be careful.
Yeah, because that's exactly what she did for the first one. It's very similar. Yeah,
that one was more of a yellow than the first one.
Yeah,
put it that way.
And yeah, on another day,
James lifts it in there. Chance for Chelsea. It's going to fall for Cuthbert at the back post. Takes it past Carto. Puts it in towards the back post again. It's going to fall for James, who lifts it into the box. A wayward attempt from Beaver Jones. Bright takes aim. Up in the air. Cuthbert brings it down with snow on it. Spins on it. Tries to take a shot. It's cleared away. Here's Lawrence. Kana Reid. Wide into Millie Bright. Back to Kana Reid.
Chelsea trying to use any means necessary at the ball. There's an overhead kick attempt from Aggie Beaver Jones. There was Millie Bright on the volley, which we know...
Someone's just got over...
Yeah.
It feels Chelsea are overcomplicating it quite a lot. Just put the ball in the back of the net at this point.
Yeah.
Like, there's opportunities for Chelsea tonight. They're just not taking them. Lawrence. Brighton. Now back to Bjorn. Bright. Here's Beaver Jones, holds onto that well. James takes it off her, knocks it wide. Kana Reid can deliver this into the box. Ball in, and that's cleared away. Cuthbert takes aim. It's not got a lot of venom behind it. And claims it easily. I am not sure why Chelsea are looking to go wide tonight and cross the ball. Because that is the one position, that's the one way of scoring we don't have anyone in the box for. There's no Ramirez, no Kerr in there. So who are we aiming for with crosses?
And when it does eventually fall, it feels like it's falling to the wrong players, Chelsea. It keeps falling to Cuthbert or Bright or Lawrence, who they're good strikers of the ball, don't get me wrong, and Millie Bright on the volley is one of the deadliest volleys in the WSL, but they're not the players you want the ball to fall to in those kind of areas. That's a good flick on. That's a brilliant interception from Bright because it was flicked on well by Riley and Stengel was interested.
Brighton falls for Nusken. Bright. Bjorn. Nusken. Bjorn.
That's a
Lawrence.
It's reached Bjorn there, that pass from Nusken, but it's not a good pass.
They're not convincing tonight.
No.
Trying to be too fancy and trying to flick the ball everywhere. Everett. I mean, Palace just not clearing their lines very successfully here. Vea We'll go back to Yanez, who will smash that clear.
Everett managed to head it directly up in the air and then follow it up by kicking it directly up in the air.
Just feels like once Chelsea score, I think they'll calm down a bit. But it's just this mad rush, mad chaos to try and score a goal. I get it. You want to score early. You want to, quieten down Palace. But
that's the thing.
They're just rushing in front of goal.
I mean, Chelsea have been caught out slightly by the fact that Palace are playing positively. In terms of Chelsea were expecting just to kind of just knock the ball around Palace's half and eventually score a goal. But Palace are on the front foot. Palace are coming at Chelsea. And I think that's just caught them out a little bit.
Yeah, indeed. Emily says, would you say Palace are making them work? Definitely.
Yeah.
Making it a really tough game for Chelsea so far. Meek AO asking who are the forwards for Chelsea today. It's Guro Wrighton, Lauren James, Aggie Jones and Joanna Wrighting Carnarade. But yeah, it's just not working at the moment.
No.
Just not working. Givens will go back to Yanez. Wrighton's going to put the pressure on, and for a second it looked like she might be able to get there. Everett, Vea. Needs an option. Sends it forwards, nice. Flicked well, but it's overhit there. And do you see there, Palace are not, extraordinary on the ball.
No,
Chelsea just needs.
They've got the right thing. The Palace have got the right ideas there. That pass play was the correct one. That triangle of passes was the right one, but it's just that quality to.
They played out the press successfully, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's Palace have proven to me in this first half an hour that they can definitely. They're going to put up a fight because they're going to. I think what they learned from the Tottenham games, there's no point just sitting deep and letting teams come on to you. Whereas tonight they're going at Chelsea a little bit.
Woodham. Palace trying to make something happen, sends it forwards, and this will be Millie Bright's throw now. Just going to give that back to Hannah Hampton. So 15 minutes left of this first half, half an hour gone then. Still 0-0 here. Palace holding firm. Chelsea growing frustrated. Will that change before half time? Potentially so.
Chelsea will hope it's going to change. I think there's a lot of people in fantasy DSL that are worried at the moment.
Yeah.
But again, Lauren James is too deep. Lauren James is the third deepest Chelsea outfielder.
Here's Wrighton. Finds Lawrence. He's going to carry this ball inside. Now Sjoka Nusken. Magister finds Lucy Bronze out wide. Ball into the box. Lawrence at the back post could have got there. But it'll be cleared away instead by Josie Green. It's been an interesting battle so far. Green and Lawrence.
Yeah.
So far, I think Green's had the measure of her.
Green's had a good game.
Right. Bronze. Cuthbert. Sorry, here's Cuthbert. Nusken to Cuthbert. It's going to put that into the box. Oh, again, it's a diagonal ball towards Ashley Lawrence.
I'm confused. I think Chelsea have got. They've been caught by surprise by Palace playing positive, and they've kind of just thrown all their game plan. Chelsea are crossing it in when they haven't got a focal point. They haven't got a striker up there. They're just overcomplicating and attacking areas. And I mean, Bompastor looks slightly frustrated, and I think she will be because she demands a very, very high standard. At the moment, Chelsea aren't. She knows Chelsea aren't playing anywhere near their best.
I mean, Palace average positions are in their own half. They're sitting deep and they're doing well, but they're not like up against their goal line.
I mean, I think what the difference is. They've still got two players who are averaging in the Chelsea half.
Not halfway line.
Well, yeah.
But yeah.
And that's they're 10 yards further up than you'd expect them to be. I think they're 10 yards further up than Chelsea expect them to be.
So to be honest, that game is similar to the 1-0 Villa game. Hard fight for the points. Yeah, very much so. Emily asked how catastrophic would a draw or Palace win be for Chelsea. From a Chelsea point of view, what does anything less than a win mean for you? Terrible, really.
Yeah.
Because it means you basically cannot have another slip up. And you've got to beat Arsenal, Man City. Because you saw last season how close it was. Chelsea only won it on goal difference, and the only slip-ups they had were losing to Arsenal at the Emirates, losing to City at the Bridge, and
losing to Liverpool at their ground.
That was it. And I think a draw in there against City.
Yeah.
But you don't get many slip-ups.
No.
You don't. There is not much margin for error in this division where it is so competitive at the top. To lose to a team like Crystal Palace, who should be in the fight for relegation this season, would be damaging. Yeah, very damaging. I think it'd be like City's lost to Brighton last season.
Differences between the Chelsea Villa game and this game is that I think the Villa game was difficult for the whole 90. This game for Chelsea will get easier as the game goes on. Yes, Palace will fight harder because they'll have more belief, but as we saw against Tottenham, they really struggled towards the end of the game because they became tired. They became mistakes crept in, and I think that will happen again tonight if Chelsea keep the pressure on. It won't be convincing. It's not the way Chelsea want to win, but the game will get easier. But right now, there's one unhappy Sonia Bompastor, and there's 11 frustrated Chelsea players out there.
Yeah, Cuthbert, Bronze finds Nuscombe. He's going to go back to Bright. Yi Chen Louis says, so is Palace playing well or Chelsea playing poorly? I would say it's very difficult for one to exist without the other. I think at the moment Palace are set up in a way that's making it very difficult for Chelsea to execute how they want to play tonight. But equally Chelsea shouldn't be fazed by that.
No.
Chelsea should be finding answers themselves. Here's Carnery. Tries to find Beaver Jones. The link up just not really coming together. Bronze. I mean, it's always difficult to break down low blocks, even if you're a team who are able to do it. Yeah, it's always difficult. Once they get that first goal, as we saw against Tottenham, I think it becomes a lot easier because suddenly Palace lose a bit of hope, lose a bit of discipline. While they've still got something to fight for, they will fight. And that's the issue. Chelsea have got to get that goal. But you've got to remember, Tottenham did not score till the 36th minute. No. And they went on to win 4-0.
And
Tottenham's attack does not compare to Chelsea's attack. So I don't think they'll have any issues tonight. And I don't see Palace scoring unless Chelsea keep passing it to them in their penalty area. But Chelsea will want to make this look comfortable.
Yeah.
Which they're not at the moment. They're not playing particularly well and they don't look comfortable. Lawrence comes inside dangerously, could take this on her own, goes to Cuthbert, which is probably the wrong decision in that.
I think Lawrence has got a shoot there. She opened up for her.
Bronze will take aim from range and, well, unfortunately we're not playing rugby. If not, she'd be on for 12 points. Well, no, 3 points.
Yeah,
I forget the
12. Incredible.
They add loads of points anyway.
add loads. Yeah, Chelsea. There's 10 minutes left here. Palace have done well, but as you say, Tottenham. It took Tottenham a while to score, and I definitely think it will be. And this is different. You've got to remember that for Palace, they're at home. They're at Selhurst Park. It's a very very good crowd. They've got some big names in attendance, and they're going to want to put on a show for the home fans. They're going to want to prove that even if they lose tonight, that they can compete in this division. And I think Laura Kaminski will be happy with what her side have delivered in the first 36 minutes.
Well, a chance now for Brighton as the ball comes over the top. Brighton trying to fight for it, brings it down, tries to get it to Beaver Jones. He tries to turn and it's dealt with by Vea. Cuthbert can't quite keep it alive. Chelsea will win it back. Here's James. And there it's Messi again. Right, just couldn't quite bring it down. Bronze. Can't read. That's a really poor touch there.
Chelsea and Palace are making this game scrappy, and that's making it difficult for Chelsea because the defending it's good defending, but it's a little bit scrappy, which makes it very hard for an attacker to predict what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know what the defender's going to do, how can you beat the defender?
Yeah, a few questions in chat just asking where to watch. If you're in the UK, then it's on Sky Sports. If you're outside the UK, it'll be whatever your broadcast channel is. So if it's America, I believe it is Paramount.
ESPN, isn't it?
ESPN Plus now, yes, it's changed. If you're in Australia, it's Optus Sport. If you are outside of a country with a broadcaster, then it will be on YouTube. So you can try and find that. But yeah, if it is if you're in a country where a broadcaster has bought the rights, then it will be on that channel. Bright tries to play it forwards. One back by Palace. That will be recovered though by Natalie Bjorn, who will.
I'll tell you what. Chelsea are getting let off tonight. That Palace are rushing it in attacking areas. As another poor pass.
Shocking pass. I don't get what the build-up phase is because you've just got Nuskin in there and then Cuthbert and Lauren James playing higher. Here come Chelsea though. Carnery coming towards the penalty area finds Beaver Jones who smashes it home and Chelsea find a breakthrough on the counter. In transition, they're excellent. Palace get caught out. Carnery across to Beaver Jones. Palace 0, Chelsea 1. And a valiant defence is finally broken down by Bompastor's Blues.
Yeah, I said that Palace were rushing it in attacking areas, and they do. They win the second ball back from a poor Millie Bright pass, and then they just rush it. Blanchard tries to do some really fancy back heel flick. I don't understand it. Chelsea pounce on the ball, one through ball. They're on the counter attack, and when they're on the counter, Palace aren't set. Palace aren't in shape, and Chelsea, of course, are going to punish. And it's a good finish from Beaver Jones. Chelsea finally get that goal, but Palace and Kaminsky will be so frustrated to concede in that manner because that is such a poor way to let their fight slip. But it's a good finish from Beaver Jones. Yanez gets a hand on it. Probably could do better. But Chelsea have their goal, 38 minutes. And I think it's more relief than joy for Chelsea. Bit of both. And a new celebration for Faggy Beaver Jones.
Trying to work out what, because it looked like initials, right? But I can't work out whose initials it was. And this is S for Sophie?
Maybe.
Ingle? But yeah, can't work it out. Bronze.
Someone will know.
Actually says Sonia doesn't look happy after the goal. I think it's more the fact she has such high standards of the Chelsea team and they're not meeting them yet. Carnery takes on Gibbons. Gibbons has to knock it out for a corner. Chelsea starting to look a bit more confident now. Ryan saying not quite the 36th minute, but close. Well, exactly. It took Tottenham 36 minutes. It took Chelsea 38. Beaver Jones, though, last season averaged the highest minutes per goal tally in the WSL. And with more minutes available this season, could we see her increase her tally?
Definitely so. And it feels like after that goal, someone's also woken Cannery up.
Yeah.
She had a good pre-season. Didn't really do much in the first half an hour here, but
that contribution in each of their first two games.
Exactly.
We questioned her output in the last few years. This season, though, making up for that, Millie Bright, a bit of a wayward attempt. Bron's done really well to keep that on, to be fair. Could she make something happen now? That's too soft in there from Green. Bronze to Cuthbert, got to go in the box, chipped in towards Yanez, who can claim that easily. Gilly asking, what changes does Sonia need to make at half-time? Bring on Ramirez. He questions, they question. I think it's a difficult one. For me, I don't really understand the decision to play Beaver Jones tonight. She's just scored, though. So, trust Bompastor, not me.
Yeah.
But I thought against Villa the space was in behind, and tonight the space just isn't there because Palace are going to play deeper. So playing Ramirez, where she can bully players, she can play with her back to goal more effectively, would make more sense. And Beaver Jones being able to play in behind against Villa does make more sense. Beaver Jones scored there because there's a space in behind, and she's in behind again here, but that will be flagged offside. That looked tight to me, that one.
It did look a little bit close. Right and played her through. Flag goes up. But Chelsea, for Palace now, it's about surviving for the next 5 minutes.
Was it offside?
No, she's miles on.
She's
not miles
tight.
on, to be fair.
It's tight because if you're going off the sleeve, you could argue she's slightly ahead. But I think that it's a tight one.
Crap angle.
Not
what is Bright doing again?
No idea. We've just cut back and it's more terrible defending from Chelsea. Well dealt with by Nuska. But then it is one back by Blanchard and Chelsea under pressure here.
Yeah.
I have serious doubts about our defence. I did last season, I do this season. Ball in, Blanchard has a chance to score and she turns it away from goal. Chelsea get away with one there.
Yeah.
Huge let-off.
That's a big chance. Blanchard's just got to put it on target. And I'm not sure how she doesn't.
And the really frustrating thing is, better sides punish them.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the issue. That's the issue for Chelsea tonight. Is while we might get away with it here, better sides score that every day.
You think back to the Aston Villa game, Missy Beaukern's missed an absolute sitter that better sides will punish. That's a huge chance for Blanchard that she hasn't taken. Kaminsky can't believe it because she knows they're not going to get chances tonight. That should be 1-1, realistically. And that is a big opportunity missed.
Johnny's saying, you guys on 21 because the match is on and we're getting battered. The Chelsea men's on 21. So we are. Not sure I'm going to get in the side. Lauren James tries to play the ball through Carnery. And can't quite control that ball. It's going to fall for Bjorn now. He tries to touch it to Lawrence. One back in there. By India Page Riley back to Josie Green. That's come off Lawrence and out for a throw.
Yeah, Palace will. I think they've done well in the first half, and if it is only 1-0 at half time, that's not bad.
No,
and I think they'll feel like they could have scored. They'll feel like they also could have prevented the goal.
Green up the line. That's a nice flick in there from Paige Riley, who looks to bring it forwards, pokes it inside. It's penalised there.
I'll tell you
for
what,
a pullback.
If she doesn't play a poor pass there and she carries on going, I don't think that's given us a foul.
I don't think it is a foul.
Well, yeah, I think she's got fortunate because she's played a poor pass and then got away with it.
Yeah. A reminder as well, next Sunday, Chelsea against Manchester United, we will be covering that.
Is there a reason to be worried at this moment in time for Chelsea going into that United game? Lost to United last season. Haven't looked so solid at the moment.
In the FA Cup.
And it was under extreme circumstances.
Yeah. This is at Kings Meadow. I think Chelsea should win it, but I agree. I don't think Chelsea have been convincing to start this season. But I guess we'll see. Here's Green. Carter, sorry, plays that ball through. Stengel, is she on?
Oh,
no, she isn't.
I'm not sure.
Either way, it was stopped by Hannah Hampton. She does look to be in some discomfort after that one, though. She looked to be hobbling.
We'll have a look. I thought Bright played her on. Bright did not play her on.
Not even remotely close.
No. Yeah. Save from Hampton.
Yeah.
But realistically, I think Stengel knew she was offside. Minute to go then till half time. And another decent first half from Crystal Palace. But Chelsea got their goal. That's what they do. And we spoke about this in the Villa game. Is Chelsea, they score goals and they get results even when they're up against it. Even when they're not at their best. There's a reason they win titles. There's a reason that Sonia Bompastor wins titles, because even when her teams are struggling, they still find ways to score goals. They still find ways to win games. And that could be the difference.
Ball lifted over the top there, and a chance for Cuthbert to try and get in the end of something here. She nudges the defender a bit too aggressive. And the ref is going to get for that.
Cuthbert's in disbelief. I mean, why is Aaron Cuthbert running in behind? I don't know.
Yeah, you just need to know it's Heaslip. You can't touch a player. Because she will blow a whistle. I mean, that's just strength for me.
Yeah.
That's simply just strength.
That's less.
If you can't nudge someone with your shoulder, what's the point? Like, I'm not being funny. Heaslip is giving literally any contact at the moment. I get that the James one, she goes over the ball, fair enough. It's not yellow, but fair enough. There's a few where you can say, oh, you know, it's a little too aggressive. There is no reason to give us a foul. And it's a great opportunity for Chelsea. But that's Heaslip. Anyway. 1 minute of additional time in this first 45. Chance to try and send that ball forwards, blocked by Millie Bright. One back now by Chelsea. Connery trying to carry that ball forward. Sorry, Nusken. Now finds Wrighton. Wrighton chesting it down. Knocks it out wide into Lawrence. Now Connery. Lawrence. Here's James. Exchanging passes with Natalie Bjorn. Bright. James. Now Bright. Bjorn. Kind of read. Just good in the give and go. Doesn't quite come off. But I don't mind what they're trying to do there. And that should set into the half. And it does indeed. At half time here at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 0. Chelsea 1. A frustrating first 45 for the Blues. But they did get their goal eventually. Through Aggie Beaver-Jones. The second half as the first half wound to a close. Palace have put up a valiant fight so far, and they've done well to keep Chelsea from scoring more.
Yeah, very much so. An entertaining first half. It had a bit of everything. Chelsea definitely not playing at the best of their ability. Palace will feel like they could have maybe held it at 0-0, but eventually Chelsea, quality in front of goal came true towards the end of the game. They took advantage of Palace just getting caught out. It was a very strong counter-attack, and Canaride and Beaver-Jones linking up for that goal. But overall, Chelsea will be happy they're leading because they know they haven't played good enough.
Yeah.
Palace, they'll be happy with I think they'll be happy, but part of them will feel like they could have scored a goal. They had opportunities, and they probably could have kept Chelsea out for the whole half if they just hadn't got caught too high.
Yeah, Palace really should punish Chelsea, if I'm honest. There was opportunities there, as you say. Blanchard had to take that chance she had. There's a couple for Stengel as well. She got in behind, just couldn't quite finish it off. Yeah, it's a really frustrating one, I think, for Palace. They could have definitely done more today. As for Chelsea, they've just not played particularly well. I mean, a lot of the game plans to get the ball wide into Carnereid and to Lawrence, or Bronze sometimes getting up as well. And I get that when you've got Niamh Charles, one of the best crossers of the football, and Sam Kerr or Myra Ramirez in the box. But when you've got Ashley Lawrence, who can't cross on a left foot, and Carnereid, who's not the best crosser of football, I don't really get it. I get why you'd use them to create the width, to create space in central areas. But we've got James dropping really deep to receive the ball and having to get involved really deep. and not a lot going on in the attacking third. Aviva Jones, I really like. Obviously, she took her goal well, but I think in a game like today where we need a lot of box presence, she doesn't really bring that. Cuthbert seems to be playing a higher role than Nusken, and I don't really get that. Because I'd have Cuthbert playing the deeper role and Nusken pushing forward, or in a pivot, as they really should be. So there are some frustrations for the Chelsea performance for me. But yeah, it's been interesting to watch. Alex saying, are all UWSL matches this year at Stamford Bridge? I'm not sure. Obviously, they were last year, but now that the men's side have European football and there will be some fixture clashes, I'm not sure if they will be. Hopefully they will be all at Stamford Bridge, because I think even if the men's are playing Conference League on a Thursday, provided the women's side are Tuesday or Wednesday, I think that would be fine. And I'm sure they could. We'll see how the fixtures come out. If it's that Chelsea women are always at home when the men are at home and they always clash, then that'd be really frustrating.
That is terrible scheduling.
But yeah, you would like to hope that UEFA might think that through. But we'll see. I don't think the schedule has come out yet. Just who we're playing, but they haven't got long, because the obviously the Champions League kicks off on the 8th of October. 8th and 9th of October, so that's the week after next. So yeah, going to be interesting to see what happens there. But as always, we'll be streaming those games, unless of course we can get tickets. We can get up there for the matches. So yeah, and with 3 English sides in the UWSL this season, that's very exciting. More opportunities for streams.
Yeah, and I think that as you say, the UWSL's coming up so quickly, which is why Chelsea want to find their rhythm in games like this.
Yeah,
because if that game is Real Madrid on the 8th or 9th of October, suddenly Chelsea could really need to up their game.
They have to win that.
Yeah, exactly.
Realistically.
And that's the problem. Because if Chelsea play like they do tonight, Real Madrid probably take advantage, and it's probably 1-0 to
well,
I think a better side. I think if there was a better side tonight, Chelsea could be losing this game.
Equally pressingly, they play Manchester United next Sunday and Arsenal at the Emirates the Saturday after.
That's true.
And Chelsea haven't found the rhythm yet. They don't seem to be a team who knows what they're doing. And from what I've seen in the opening game weeks, I think that at the moment, Arsenal looking really good.
Yeah, Arsenal look good. I think I'll be intrigued to see how United play on Sunday.
City will be interesting. I don't think they're very good against Arsenal. I think it'll be interesting to see how they play against Brighton, whether we see a different shape, whether they look a bit more, positive.
Yeah.
But, yeah, will be interesting to see. Johnson saying, I remember telling Harry that Lawrence is crap. If we play Millie Brighton against Manchester United, I will lose it because they are not good enough. That is an outrageous statement, Johnny. I think that, yes, I think Millie Brighton's starting to lose a yard. I don't think Brighton is not a good player. I don't think that's even close to being true. I don't know why we're playing in her attacking midfield. I'd agree with that.
No.
But she is far from not a good player. Absolutely fantastic player is Gura Wrighton. Emily says, do you often go to matches, boys? If we can. Kingsman is very difficult to get to from where we are, but it is easier to get to Stamford Bridge. So we do tend to go if they've got a game at the Bridge. And obviously it doesn't mix with any of our other commitments. No. But yeah. Alex says, UWSL schedule should come out tomorrow. Okay, we'll look at that then. Hopefully it works out well.
Yeah, no. I think, Chelsea have got it's going to be a tough season. I think last year was tough, and I think this season could be even tougher. They were pushed all the way by City. They went deep in every other competition.
Well, see, but the thing that I think benefits Chelsea is that I think there are teams now that can take points off Arsenal and City. I don't think City look as good as they did last season. I still think Arsenal are fallible.
But that also works both ways in terms of there are teams who can take points off Chelsea.
That is very true. That is very true. I just think that Chelsea have the individual quality above City or Arsenal.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. Yeah. I think it's going to be very interesting. But yeah, I don't think Chelsea have been very good.
I think it was key that Chelsea scored in that first half, because at 0-0, you've still got all the work to do. Whereas Chelsea can come out now, not score another goal, and they win this game.
Yeah.
However, I think Sonia Bompastor will be very angry in that changing room right now, because that was not good enough from Chelsea. That really wasn't.
No, not at all. I think in possession we have looked very clueless at times. I don't think it's worked. We're doing the same thing that City are doing.
Yeah.
Where we've just got like 3 centre backs. And we've got Bron. So what we're doing is pushing Lawrence forward, having Bron sitting deeper, and then playing one pivot. There are no passing options.
Yeah.
So we have no idea what we're doing. And then the only way we progress the ball is when Lauren James drops in and helps out.
Yeah.
Which is not where we want to see Lauren James playing. So it's really frustrating at the moment because we're just not seeing Chelsea be positive enough.
Yeah.
No. The build-up stage just isn't working. Therefore, we're not moving the ball quick enough to then have fruitful attacking opportunities.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating. I think that in attacking areas we're hurting ourselves by trying to move the ball wide and then cross it. That's just not working. The only time we have actually hurt Palace today was when they made a mistake in attacking area, and we could then transition, hit them on a fast break, where they're not set in their defence, they're not able to sit really deep and just rely on the fact they've got enough bodies in front of goal. It's very difficult to score. So yeah, I just think that I know you want to have control in games, but when Palace look worse is when chaos ensues, where you create chaos through how you're playing. By drawing Palace onto you and then playing out of that and playing through them and then breaking quickly. But Chelsea aren't generating those transitional moments because they're not building up very effectively. No. They're really poor in build up, and it's the same for Man City. I don't know what Taylor and Bompastor are doing this summer, but it's not working.
And that's the problem, is that not only does it mean that Chelsea aren't then getting the ball forwards, it also means that Palace are getting chances. Palace have had quite a few chances tonight. And they've all come from either winning the ball back off Chelsea half the pitch or getting that ball in behind, which is actually a lot dangerous than I thought it would be, because I thought bringing Bjorn in would have dealt with that, but Stengel in behind has been getting to that ball first, and when Palace have won the ball half the pitch, they've wasted it. They really have. I mean, there's a couple of times where they didn't. Paige Riley had a good shot that was saved from Hampton, and there are other attempts. I mean, Blanchard for me should have scored. Yeah, and she's tried too hard to find the far corner and end up putting it wide. She should have at least hit the target. There were other opportunities in there for Riley, Stengel, Blanchard. There was opportunities for Palace to score, and that's the worry for Chelsea. Is that it's not like they only scored one goal, but they were all over Palace. They weren't. They only scored one goal, and Palace had chances.
Yeah, indeed. It's a game that should be comfortable for Chelsea, yet just isn't at all.
Yeah, second half's big. Second half is big. Because if Chelsea go out, they up the performance, they will go out and score a few goals, just like Tottenham did. If Chelsea don't change and Palace hang in there, I don't see much changing compared to the first half.
I want to see some pragmatism from Bompastor. I want to see it actually change what we're doing, because what we saw against Villa was we scored that goal that sort of it was a let-off from a first half that wasn't that great.
Yeah.
And then we invited so much pressure on ourselves in the second half by not changing anything. And Robert De Paul just sort of doubled down on what he was doing, and Villa really should have scored. If I'm honest, Villa should have taken something from that Chelsea game, because Chelsea didn't change. Chelsea just kept playing the way they were, and it wasn't working. Tonight, we may be helped out by the same thing. The fact that Palace probably won't be clinical in the final third.
Yeah.
Because they're not of the same quality as Chelsea, and Hannah Hampton is one of the best goalkeepers, if not the best goalkeeper in the world.
Yeah.
So, I think you've got, Chelsea relying on her way too heavily at the moment. Chelsea just don't look good they don't look good on the ball. They're getting opened up way too easily because they're committing too many players forward without creating clear-cut opportunities, without a solid rest defence. It's just frustration. Really frustrating to watch. Yeah. Chelsea don't look assured of themselves out there. It's been frustrating. But yeah, hopefully the second half we see some changes. Hopefully, maybe in personnel, maybe just tactically, definitely at least tactically, but maybe some personnel changes as well. If we were going to look at subs, I can't see them hooking Beaver Jones just because she scored. So I don't think we'll see Ramirez just yet.
Guro.
Maybe a change in midfield. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Baltimore on for Guro Wrighton. And we moved James centrally. It's just been a bit of a weird one so far. I mean, it's been so fluid. I don't really have any idea what formation we're playing half the time. And I know obviously formation is very not as important in the modern game because there is such flexibility, such fluidity, but it just feels like players are popping up everywhere and we're not getting players who are proficient in the right positions. We keep finding Lauren James having to play and build up. We keep finding Erin Cuthbert getting on the end of crosses. I love Erin Cuthbert and I love Lauren James, but they're not in the right sort of roles. And so I get why you want to be flexible, but I think you can still be flexible while having positions or having roles and not dragging players into positions where they're not comfortable and not effective. So it's been an interesting one. I don't think Chelsea played terribly. They've just not played well.
No.
If you get what I mean.
And against better... And that's the thing. The reason it's a concern is because better opposition, suddenly it goes from not playing well to playing badly. Because the opposition make it look worse.
Yeah.
And we, as we've said, with Man United coming up, with Arsenal coming up, Chelsea need to get it right very quickly. Because if not, they could find themselves dropping points where they really don't need to be.
But yeah, I think we could see some changes. We could see Vika Kaptein into the midfield. We could see someone like Hamano or Baltimore in those wide areas. We could see Ramirez lead the line, but lots of options.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a change like Hermano or Capdean, because I think that would be a statement from Bompastor. That would show that if the performance isn't good enough, she's not afraid to trust other players or to put trust in the youth. So it'd be very interesting to see, does Bompastor feel the need to make a change? For Palace, it will be go out there and do exactly what you've just done, but keep it up.
Now, Edmund Dance Tyler saying, unfortunately, Palace will tire in the second half, allowing Chelsea to take advantage. Chelsea Palace need to take off Gelge, who's looked weak in possession, and bring Atkinson on. Also, Virden on. Both these have pace and are dangerous. If they don't, Chelsea will tire us out, and the scoreline will then flatter Chelsea. Yeah. It's probably what we saw against Tottenham last week, because Palace started to tire, the mistakes started to creep in, and Tottenham took advantage of that. Yeah. That's why I think Chelsea will look to push on here. But yeah, and I don't think Chelsea were very good in the first half, if I'm honest. I thought Palace played really well, they set up well. But to the same extent, Chelsea were very poor. Because Chelsea, regardless of what Palace should do, should find this comfortable, because they are such a strong team, and they haven't. They just haven't. So, yeah, it's been a weird one.
Yeah,
it has. What Chelsea do in the second half.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. If Chelsea up the game, I don't think Palace would go with them, and by that I mean if Chelsea up their performance, it will get easier. Whereas, I do think that if Chelsea don't change, if the standard for Chelsea doesn't increase, Palace will hang in there longer and longer, and you never know, if they get a chance, they could take it, because they have had chances. If they end up taking just one of them, suddenly this game's level again. Yeah, indeed. So it's what Chelsea got to get it right second half. I've got to get it right. Yeah. Sorry, just watching Plymouth beat Luton on the score against Luton. Frustrating goal to watch. Luton concede, but alas. Anyway, Alice the Eagle taking over from Pete, I'm guessing. Yeah, Pete's busy tonight. So we've got Alice the Eagle lobbing. I'm not sure what she's throwing. I think they're t-shirts, aren't they? It's like the ones you put in a cannon, but they haven't got the cannon. The t-shirt. So poor Alice the Eagle is just so the mascot is just launching them into the crowd because they haven't got their t-shirt. They look like blankets or something. Maybe that would be smart. It's nippy. It's some blankets. Yeah. Not a great business model. Throwing blankets. Also, that's a bit target. If you're not throwing blankets away from them, you don't get a blanket. It's favouritism. But yeah, it's it's great to see this game at Selhurst Park. It's quite a strong attendance. Yeah. And obviously people will say, "Oh, what's the point? Because they haven't sold out." But the difference is, not this many people couldn't get in to the grounds that are around the WSL. You know, you think so it's good to see so many teams playing at their bigger stadium, playing at their big stadiums this season. Yeah, well, why not? Exactly. Yeah, Palace can start to make a name for themselves. We might see more and more fans attend the women's games. I think it's good thing to do. Are there any changes? Isn't it? Beaver Jones is still on. We know that. Got to bear in mind, stuff like the fact it's a Friday night is going to have an impact as well on attendance. I think if it's a Saturday or a Sunday where the men's side on at home, there is a change. A better chance. Bompastor has found a coat. Yeah. She's stopped herself up. Mate, that's why she was so miserable. She's cold. She's freezing. She's frozen solid in place in that first half. So I was also looking at Blanchard's shirt. It says oh no, it was creased. Ignore me. I thought there'd been a typo on that. Forgot on the L. I'd love the space for it though. Anyway, it'll be Palace to get us back underway in this second 45. Stengel from the middle, waiting for the referee's whistle. Heaslip eventually blows, and we're underway for another 45 minutes of WSL action. Palace 0, Chelsea 1 at half time. Can Chelsea kick on, or will Palace pounce on Chelsea's error-prone first 45? Ooh. I guess we'll see. Bronze doing well to fight for possession. Heaslip doesn't like fighting for possession and gives a free kick. Gelge. Now Gibbons will go back to goalkeeper Yanez under pressure from Beaver Jones. I'd like to see Chelsea chase these back passes a bit more, because I've not seen a pass back to Yanez that has looked entirely convincing yet. Put a bit of pressure on it, see if there's an option. Tottenham got goals last week from forcing errors or pouncing on errors. At best, Yanez is going to smash it into the Chelsea forward. Yeah. And then, it either pounces off favourably or it doesn't. But either way, you're putting that pressure on. You're taking that chance, and you're not letting Palace play out. And those back passes just haven't looked convincing. Bjorn
Smashes it forwards. Bit of route one from Chelsea. It's dealt with by Palace well. His Gelge knocks it wide into Woodham. Stengel holds it up well. That's a good chance from Brighton out of play for a Palace throw.
Palace, don't look terrible when they get the ball down. They play football. They look pretty strong, and it's those passages of play that make me realise that they are going to turn up, and they are going to. If they play like that against other sides in the league, they're going to get results.
Yeah, definitely. Cuthbert does well to keep that on. Bronze plays it forwards. It does wriggle through to Beaver Jones. Nice flick over the shoulder. Can't really make it work. Then wins it back though for Palace error. Plays it across to Lauren James. James just holds it up. Waits for the wide option of Lawrence to become available. Lawrence holding the ball up. Waiting for some support. Goes backwards. Bjorn. Now Nusken. Bjorn. And she's given possession away really cheaply there. And Palace will look to break. Blanchard fouled by Bjorn. Did get the pass down the line though into Paige Riley, who then can't find another successful pass. But that was really poor from Natalie Bjorn.
Yeah, just
Chelsea's defence have looked really shocking in possession. The amount of times they've gifted possession back to Crystal Palace with just a poor pass or a miscontrol.
Yeah.
It's just been complacent tonight from Chelsea's back line. And the build-up play's just not been there. Lawrence wants to come inside. Here's Lauren James. Is there any space for her to exploit? Or she is fouled in there by Paige Riley, and that will be a Chelsea free kick.
Yeah, that's what Lauren James does. What she does best: wins free kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the opposition players sometimes don't even try. Oh, and the quick thinking as well to go down the line.
Ashley Lawrence now will put that into the box. Vea heads it away, but only as far as Bronze, who comes onto it, strikes it well, and Lucy Bronze opens her Chelsea account with a wonderful, wonderful, well-placed effort into the far corner. It's Crystal Palace 0, Chelsea 2, as the Blues double their advantage. Brilliant from Bronze, excellent from Chelsea. Chelsea 2, Palace 0.
Yeah, Palace just caught out by quick thinking. James takes the free kick very, very quickly. Lawrence gets the ball in there. It falls to Bronze, who's got way too much time on the edge of the area. She picks her spot and she finds that top corner very, very well.
Yeah.
Much better. Lawrence just getting the ball in there.
It's headed away by Vea. It's going to drop for Bronze. And she realises she has to go for placement over power here. She drives enough through it anyway.
That's a great finish.
Really good finish from Lucy Bronze.
Couldn't have hit it nicer, as you say. Just took a bit off it. Didn't need to thunder it home.
Yeah.
Just knew. She ran onto it. She was generating the pace. Anyway,
I thought Palace were coming forwards there with the way that their defender was running that ball into the back line. James does really well to win that high up the pitch. Stunned though because she did use her body to win that ball. That it hasn't been given as a free kick. She knocks it into green.
Palace are going to start feeling it now. You feel that that second goal is exactly what Chelsea need to start this half.
Bron's shown her class, I think, with that one because as you say, it's really easy to rush that. It's really easy just to try and thunder it as a fullback, but she just places it home. Wonderful stuff. Paige Riley tries to break forwards, doesn't come off. That'll be a Chelsea throw.
Yeah, an important goal you feel for Bronze. Great, good start, scoring already. It's what you want as an attacking fullback to be delivering. A goal so early on is a strong start.
Bronze tries to come inside. That's just poor from Nusken there. Bronze goes to try to go back to Bronze, just a misplaced pass, and just drops Chelsea a few yards there.
Yeah,
slows everything down. Ball forward from Brighton, looking for Lawrence. It's headed away. This is another new trend in the WSL. We're seeing Lawrence pretty much play as a left back to allow Lawrence to bomb on. I don't get it. Arsenal were doing it with McCabe and Caldente. I get you want to push that left back on, but then push the winger inside rather than backwards. I don't get it. Bjorn, Bright, and I know presumably they want them to drift inside, so I'm not really sure why they're dropping in. Bright. Now Natalie Bjorn. Is there a forward option here? Not immediately, she'll go across to Millie Bright. Cuthbert Kind of Reed will go inside to Nuskin. Nuskin back to Cuthbert. Wide option of Lucy Bronze. Can she make something happen here? Bronze. Nuskin. And it's Bronze again. Cuthbert. Emily, a big fan of that Lucy Bronze goal with having Bronze in their fantasy football team.
Oh, nice. I thought about her. And then I
with how Chelsea are playing, she's not supposed to get goals.
Yeah.
That's the frustrating thing. But she does.
I don't know why I went Bright over her. Cheaper, I think, was my main
Yeah, I think
point.
she's Bright's 6.5, Bronze is 8.
Yeah. And I put Guro in.
Gone
I don't know why I
midfield.
put Guro in either.
Great player, Guro, right?
Oh, brilliant player, but not on form. It's a lot of money.
Kind of Reed wins back that ball, finds Guro Wrighton, carries it well, now knocks it wide into Lauren James. James plays it into Lawrence. It feels like every player for Chelsea trying to play with the nonchalance that Lauren James is playing, that always plays with. But they're not Lauren James.
No.
Like, Chelsea have got a fantastic squad, but sometimes you just need to recognise that Lauren James is just a class above. And that is poor communication, poor pass from Guro Wrighton there. Breaks down a promising attack. And now Pass looking to break forwards. Bronze going to pick up a yellow card, surely. No.
Survives.
Heaslip, I don't understand you. Because that's a yellow card, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Breaking, she's made a foul to stop Palace coming forwards on a promising attack. Not given. James, slightly misjudged the foul stand on someone's foot. Quick to bring out the yellow card.
Early change for Palace then. Already.
Yeah. Kielinski not happy with what she's seen, and that will be India Paige Riley coming off then.
Wow. That's bizarre. I'm not sure of that one.
So Molly May Sharp on in her place.
I don't think...
Apparently, they can only have double-barrelled first-name wingers.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace.
That one's bright. And Chelsea are also... No, I can't see. Yes, they are.
Chelsea making a change. That is Myra Ramirez. And I think it's for... Is that for Joanna Wrighton Carnereed? I think it is. And Vika Captain coming on as well. So if you've got Carnereed in Fantasy WSL, that's annoying.
Especially if you've got captains.
I also have her. I haven't captained her though, so I'm alright in that regard. But it's Cuthbert off for captain. Early subs for Chelsea. I wouldn't have gone Cuthbert for captain. I'd have gone Nuskin.
I'm confused by all three substitutions that have just been made.
Cuthbert and Carnereed. Again, yeah, well, exactly, because presumably that pushes Beaver Jones out wide, Ramirez into the box. That's fine, but Wright's
so what's happened
well
here
tonight.
Is that Chelsea have bought off Cuthbert for captain, which doesn't work, and Carnereed is Chelsea's most informed winger, and they've took her off. And Crystal Palace have bought off Riley, who for me was having a good game.
The justification I can make is that in a game against Crystal Palace, it's about building confidence, isn't it? Because it's a weak opposition.
It is, but it's also about my fantasy team.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let Bompastor know that.
I need points.
My fantasy WSL team isn't getting enough points, Bompastor. Keep Carnereed on for 6 more minutes, please.
Yeah.
So we're back on.
That were an extra 2. I've missed out on 2 points there.
Same.
No, you missed out on what you haven't got a captain. That's one frustrating.
A clean sheet point as well.
Alright, so I've missed out on 4.
Yes.
Brilliant.
I missed out on 2. So, good.
Fun.
And James is currently on 0 because she got booked. Wrighton tries to play that through. It's another poor pass from Guro Wrighton tonight. Not having the best of games.
No. And again, really hurting my fantasy WSL team, that. So that's Millie Bright's going to thunderbolt one home, which is a possibility. Then, here's Guro. That's alright from Guro. Decent defending that from Palace. I think that second goal was kind of just taking the urgency out of the game for Chelsea. They've got the cushion now. But they can't afford to rest.
Ryzen says the ref works in mysterious ways. Yes, Heaslip does. Beaver Jones out on the right side almost gets back and wins that.
She's a decent ref, but just, I don't know.
It's just the inconsistency of decisions.
Yes, I think her decisions aren't wrong. They're just not I don't know how to word. I don't know how to say it. She's right, wrong decisions. They're just
that one was.
There's better options.
Bizarre. A bit of a weird one there. Ryson asking, moving Beaver Jones to the right. Yes, that is what's happened. Beaver Jones has gone to the right. Ramirez through the middle. Ramirez penalised there for turning and accidentally running into Felicity.
They both turn around into each other.
Yeah. It's just that if you run into Myra Ramirez, it's gonna hurt.
Whereas when she runs into you, it's good. That's the problem.
Hurt you.
She never comes out of that situation in pain.
Yeah. Mickey Joe saying saving players for a long season. Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
That is true.
Yi Chen Louise saying fantasy double sales been messed up already. Don't give up yet.
No,
Yi
plenty
Chen.
of game weeks to go. Trust
can
me.
always get better.
I'm slow and steady wins the race is my plan with, the fantasy games.
I like how the leagues on Fantasy Double Sell update live.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Wow.
So I've dropped to 55 at the moment.
Well, where am I? I'm guessing I've dropped.
Where were you last?
I was 17th.
You're up to 15th.
Oh, come on. I guess I've got Canary captain, though. And a bright clean sheet coming in soon.
You're on 10.
Oh, cool.
And more writing points coming at 60 minutes.
Yeah. So, yeah. If you haven't joined our league yet, there's still time. You're only 2 game weeks behind. And there's only 22 left.
And there are a couple of Chelsea players in Palace jumpers, of course. Brooke Aspin and Lexi Potter both on loan for the season, unable to play tonight. Aspin not allowed to play tonight because she got sent off against Tottenham, of course.
That was very silly.
Bronze.
That was a red card
Jones
she didn't need.
down the line, that's not how to play.
Because she's put herself out for another game after this. Obviously, the Potter
Yeah,
can't be helped. What?
I thought it was only a 1-game suspension. 2 yellows, wasn't it?
Yeah,
one for the foul, one for the.
I don't know.
No, I have read.
Okay, it does count.
There's only because
it does apply.
Chance for Ramirez, plays across the box, goal for Lauren James. Chelsea 3, Palace 0. And while the space was opened up for them, they worked down the right hand side. Lauren James goes and celebrates with one fan in particular. I'm not sure who, but she went over, gave her a high five. Chelsea in control.
Yeah, well taken goal from Chelsea, and that is probably game, set, match. Ramirez comes on, just adds a bit of firepower into that attack, and Lauren James is never going to miss from there.
Yi Chen, who I think was it Yi Chen who triple captain Myra Ramirez, will be delighted with that one.
Brilliant.
Yeah, great play down this right hand side. Beaver Jones, it's an excellent bit of skill. She plays it into Myra Ramirez, who just barges her way through the back line, and then Lauren James on hand to the back post to finish off the move.
Yeah, really good play from Chelsea. Just turning on the style in the attacking areas, and they punish.
Indeed. Yeah. Right, saying every game a defender learns that Myra's a brick wall and it's always fun to watch. Very true. He says, what substitutions would you have made for Chelsea? Looking back, I don't necessarily disagree with what we've seen so far. Fresh legs in midfield, resting up but getting Ramirez on.
If I'm looking at the changes from a non-fantasy DSL point of view, I think they're the right ones. If I'm looking at the changes from the point of view where I want points, I'm fuming. Because I also don't have Lauren James.
As someone who has Lauren James.
So her scoring and Ramirez coming on and saying out does not help me. But it's okay.
I am glad right now I haven't captained her though. Obviously if she goes on to score another 2.
I can't really. I kind of forgot. I forgot 2 things, the captaincy, and I also forgot to put Keating back in goal.
Oh, so he's in goal for you this week.
Laws against Leicester. But I've also got Rantala, so what's the point?
It could be worse. I've got Spencer against Villa. And my other option was D'Angelo against Tottenham. So
that is
screwed either way, really.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know what? I think it's more likely that Tottenham
equally
somehow keep a clean sheet.
With D'Angelo's threat in the penalty area.
Very true.
Yeah.
She did make a lot of saves last week, so maybe I've got that one wrong. But
maybe you have.
It was a tough call. But I've got Missy O'Kearns and Rato, so I can't be happy in every play.
So either way, basically whatever happens in that game, you have to score points.
Yeah.
Unless Villa keep a clean sheet and Tottenham score own goal.
It's a 1-0 win and it's not Missy O'Kearns that scores. No. That could also work. It was D'Angelo that scores, I will be fuming.
Clean sheet goal.
Blanchard trying to create an opportunity for Crystal Palace. Takes aim. It takes a nick off a few bodies. Hampton claims it well.
Yeah. Palace, they haven't given up this game by any means. And they're going to give it a good fight. But with half an hour to go, they're already 3-0 down.
Yeah, it's a mountain to climb now, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
But they wouldn't have expected an easy run of it against Chelsea.
No.
And they have put up a decent fight. Lawrence, Bjorn. Now Bright.
And I think performance-wise,
Bronze tries to play
Palace
forward,
have
not quite
looked
come off.
better than they did against Tottenham.
Bright. Just emerges the ball in midfield. Yeah, and no. The thing is, I don't think Palace played badly against Tottenham, and I don't think they play badly here. It's just that they are playing very good teams who will score goals and punish even the smallest mistakes. So, I don't. And this could easily, because we saw Tottenham scored 3 in the last. Yeah. They scored 66th minute, 78th, 85th or something like that. So, or 88th. This, Chelsea could easily win 6-7-0 here. We're talking a completely different game. Oh, it's flashed across the box by the Blues. It's going to fall for Lawrence at the back post. Takes aim! Smashes it over the bar. But this could get ugly for Palace. They've just got to keep it tight because goal difference can be so important. And obviously last week, West Ham and Everton shipped a lot of goals. Yeah. So I think in that regard, Palace were all right. But this week, they do need to try and keep that goal difference down. Yeah. But yeah. The 3 Halls welcome to the stream saying up to Chelsea. Welcome to the stream. I can't help but notice what looks like a YouTube verification tick, so that has caught my interest. But welcome to the stream. Alex saying, still don't know who's the best centre-back besides Millie. True, I think it's difficult to say. I mean, I don't think Millie Bright's looked flawless at all recently, but I do think Buchanan and Bjorn is quite close between the two. Yeah. I've been intrigued to see the level that Melie Simpome is at, the new signing from Montpellier, because I think that would be... Or even the level that she can reach. Yeah, I think she will be a top defender. It's about the opportunities she will be given this season and whether she can thrive with them. She's learning from Buchanan and Bright. I couldn't ask for two better centre halves to learn from. Yeah. The experience in that back line. They're not bad players. It's just that Bright and Buchanan both starting to age a bit now. Yeah. Never been the most mobile either way. I think if you can teach Mpome to defend like that, but also with the pace that she possesses, that's going to be a very, very strong defender. And when you consider, I think Chelsea's backline's in really good hands. You've got players like Alejandra Bernabe, who's coming through. You've got Georgia Fox, who's obviously on loan at Palace. Horrible news that she's picked up an ACL injury, but we hope to see her playing for Chelsea in the future. We're seeing changes now for Chelsea. Ashley Lawrence coming off, and didn't see who came on in her place because we're just looking at Ashley Lawrence, but there does seem to be a double change. So I think it's Perisset on and Baltimore on. So I'm not sure who's playing left back now for Chelsea. I'm going to guess Sandy Baltimore is playing left back. Yes. Sandy Baltimore. But to be fair, with the role that how high Lawrence has played today, it's not terrible. Wasn't on my bingo card for tonight. Absolutely wasn't. But Baltimore is playing left back. Well, that's a new discovery in the Bompastor playbook. Is that if you've got too many wingers, you just put one on the left back. And she's come on and apparently... Bjorn, has fouled someone, apparently. You never know. And Palace will have an opportunity from this free kick. Indeed. 25 minutes to play here then. I mean, for Palace, if they could score a goal, it would be a nice consolation. Yeah, definitely. Give fans something to cheer. Yeah, indeed. So, deep set piece here then. Options in the box. Hayslip just trying to sort out the players in the area. He loves to get involved with everything. Yeah, look at it. She's on the edge of the box. So, finally Palace can deliver the ball. It's not a bad delivery. Bjorn doesn't deal with it fully. Bright rises high. And now it will be Wrighton who tries to clear it away. Successfully does so. Palace knocking it back to Yanez, and now they can look to build up from the back. And Mike Ejo saying, for fantasy football, expect the deepest teams to have the most rotations. Very true. It's why it can be very difficult when you've got Chelsea, City, Arsenal players who will rotate that side a lot to have that consistency. We saw that last week with obviously Lauren James only playing 10 minutes. Yeah. That's not many for someone who cost 12 million. Nah. I'm just going down there after she got trodden on by her own player. Yeah. It was Moira Ramirez who ended up landing on the midfielder's boot. She's a brute. She goes around, even when it's her own players, just thumping into them. Yeah, so Nuskin does seem to be in some discomfort. We'll have to go off because she received treatment. But she looks to be alright. Yeah, Yeah, it does seem to be all right. The Three Horse says it's scary that Chelsea look this good and Kerr is still not back. Very true. It's something that we've not really considered with Chelsea. Is obviously you look at the attacking options because you've got Ramirez who's fit, you've got Beaver Jones who's fit, you've got Macario who can play through the middle, and then at some point in the season we expect to see Sam Kerr back, we see Mia Fischel back. It's very difficult to see how it works. In theory, you've got the best attack in the league by quite a distance, but in practicality, it's very difficult to see how it's going to be functional because there's not that many minutes to go around for 5 players who want to play that position. Now, I know Beaver Jones can play on the right hand side, as can Cat Macario. Actually, Cat Macario can play anywhere across the front line. Very versatile.
Maybe we'll see a right back.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Baltimore at left back is a fun experiment, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's something we have seen. She has played Aoife Ross before.
But why would you do...
Chance for Palace flicks it on at the front post, almost finding the far corner.
Not about Efren Stengel. Palace, I think they can be... If they can keep this down, if they can not concede or only concede 1 in the next 34 minutes, I don't think it's been a terrible performance. I think they've looked better than they did last week, and that's the main thing you need to do as a promoted side, is you need to keep improving. Bristol City and Reading and the likes, it just never got easier. It just kept getting more difficult. For Palace, even though the opposition's got more difficult, the performance has got better. And that's huge.
Well, they've got Leicester next weekend. That's going to be a really interesting game. I think Leicester are a team on the rise. If Palace could try and get something from that game, that would be a really positive result. They play Brighton after that, Liverpool, Man City. But then they've got Everton. And for me, Everton is the sort of game they have to.
I think Palace can stay up by solely picking up points against the teams they're fighting against. Because realistically, are Everton going to pick up points at the big 3? No.
It depends where Brighton and Leicester position this season, because I think there's a lot of unknown there. If you look at Brighton, there's a lot of belief they're going to rise up the table. But I think this season we're going to see what we've not really seen. And I think there'll be 3 teams that are really down there. Because what we saw in Matchweek 1 was an Everton side who got battered by a Brighton team, who they only finished a point behind, I think, last season. So there seems to be such a disparity now between Crystal Palace, West Ham, Everton, and then the next group. Because I think Brighton have improved massively. I think Leicester have come on leaps and bounds. I think Aston Villa look much stronger than they did last season. Last season was a bit of an anomaly because they are a good team. Tottenham still looks strong. Liverpool look good. So there are so many teams now competing for 4th. Everyone from Everton, West Ham, and Crystal Palace upwards seems to be competing. So it's a really strong league this year. Really strong league. But again, we've only seen 1 game week. A lot will be figured out this weekend. Brighton play Man City. That's going to be really interesting because we saw Brighton look really good against Everton. Be interested to see how they get on against a much tougher opposition. Pat's coming forwards though. Chance for Stengel. Isn't dealt with by Chelsea. They get away with it again though.
That's a big chance for Stengel. She's frustrated. She'll feel like she should have scored tonight. I think Palace would feel like they could have got an opportunity. He was offside anyway.
Oh yeah, by the way, sorry, I was checking something else. But in chat, the Three Hills, thank you very much, donating £9.99, saying I'm off guys, but good to see you supporting the women's game. Keep it up. Thank you very much. The Three Hills appreciate that massively. Edmund saying Palace need to bring on a quality finisher, Poppy Pritchard, as they are now creating chances. This is the sort of game Pritchard could really get her teeth into. Someone who has excelled at youth level. We saw at the under 19s Women's Euros this summer how quality she looks.
She's the type of player where she's got a lot to learn, and I think Palace will be a very good experience. But I think she works well on this Palace side. She's one of those where if she gets a chance, she takes it. And Palace need players that are going to take their chances because chances aren't going to be very common. So they need players
coming
that are
forward. Nuskin plays it to Ramirez. She tries to force her way through that back line, still fighting away for it, and she's committed a foul.
Yeah, that one did look like a foul. She's bemused. I think that one probably was a free kick.
I sometimes wonder if she doesn't quite realise her own strength.
No.
She just barrels
Even
away.
Guro just has to go over and say, that was a foul, Moira. Bang. Just catch them with her leg.
It's unnecessary, because where is Katrina Vare going to go?
Nowhere. It's just that fight. It's just fighting for the ball, and it's one of those. Another Chelsea change. This was the final Chelsea change.
And it's Cat Macario on for Shocker Nuskin. I feel with every sub, I'm more confused as to what formation.
So who's playing where now then?
It's just Vika captain in midfield.
Yes.
I think Brighton's playing in midfield.
Unless Cat Macario's playing in the pivot. No? That. I'm so confused.
Chelsea just seem to get
Millie
more and
Bright.
more aggressive with their shape as this game goes on.
That's handball. Don't book her though. Chelsea free kick. Crystal Palace free kick. I
like your focus on the fancy stuff. So I don't book
honestly, I'm
Never
so
foul.
committed to winning our league, the league we have got for this channel.
I'm winning it.
I'm determined to win something in my life.
Well,
and if it's fantasy does well, that's what I'm going to win.
Well, apparently on 8 points, but in my team I've got Connor Reid on 4 and James on 5. So the maths just isn't working there. But, yeah. Not an awful start.
No, I'm pretty... 19 minutes here.
I am slightly worried about not having Khadija Shaw,
Yes.
who I will be getting next week. Oh no, that was my plan. I've saved up money by going Paris to Mouchon, so I can go Turlin to Shaw next week.
Do you get 2 free transfers every week?
Yes.
Thank God for that. Because if not, I would not be getting Khadija Shaw next week and I'd be in big
Yeah,
trouble.
I've got 3.5 million in the budget, so if I go Turlin to Shaw, which is only 2 million, I've still got 1.5 to play
good
with.
play.
And a ball forward looking for Ramirez, who barrels down another player, but that has resulted in a corner.
Wrighton and James with the 1-2. Really sharp play. Ramirez, ball for Ramirez. She won a corner. 18 to play. Chelsea hunting more goals. Where's Millie Bright? Brighton corner. Bright head up. Perfect for my team.
Yeah, indeed. 18 minutes to go then. Where's Lauren James in the box?
Captain fancies it.
Oh, she's gone short. That's not what I want to see. Anyway, Chelsea fighting for possession. Beaver Jones can't quite knock it forwards. Ramirez, and that's one back in there by Gibbons. One back by Baltimore, though. High up the field, takes aim. It's blocked. Can Chelsea keep it high? Beaver Jones needs an option. Tries to find Wrighton, but can't. And now pass will look to break. Blanchard. And it's one back by Perisset.
I think Blanchard's looked sharp tonight. I've been impressed by her.
Perisset. Now Beaver Jones. Macario plays it through to Captain, to Wrighton, takes aim, goal for Guro, goal for Chelsea, Palace 0, Chelsea 4, and the scoreline starting to look emphatic. Lovely link up in the final third, and it's a great finish from Guro. To those who doubted her, that is her response. Great finish. It's Captain linking up well in the final third, and it's a great finish from Guro Wrighton.
Yeah, big goal for Guro. She needed that.
So did your fancy goals, I would say.
So did my fancy goals. But brilliant from Chelsea. It's just good combination. This wasn't happening in the first half. Beaver Jones, Macario, and Captain. It's beautiful setup, and Wrighton very composed. Finds the bottom corner. Chelsea finds 4. Captain looks like a very, very good player. This is really just knowledgeable to find Guro Wrighton.
Excellent. Excellent from Guro.
From Palace, it's too easy. Wrighton shouldn't be able to take a touch on the edge of the 6-yard box and then shoot. And a joint hug from, Wrighton must have felt like she was on top of a mountain there, being propped up by Ramirez and Millie Bright. That's on cloud 9. Huge goal for Wrighton. Chelsea have their 4th.
Starting to get inertia. Is that what it is when you're on top of a mountain? I can't think
remember now.
I can't think what the word is.
No.
But anyway, yeah, she'd have felt like she was flying. Here comes Chelsea then. And this is the issue for Palace, is that when they do get towards the end of the games, they just seem to slip off.
They need to get stopped now though, because 5 and 6 is a little bit.
Here's Bright. And the issue is, I think a lot of Chelsea fans will look at the scoreline tonight and say, well, you know what, slow first half, but Chelsea have played well. I don't want to be rushed into that because I don't think Chelsea have looked brilliant tonight.
And that's the thing for Palace. I don't think 4-0 represents the whole game. Very similar to the Tottenham game, they were very competitive in the first half.
Yeah.
It's just in that second 45, the games are running away from Palace.
And I don't think it's something they'll adapt to throughout the season.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Kaminsky's been proactive enough with their subs. They made
one, and that was in the 52nd minute.
They've not really made changes. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Ryan says vertigo, that's it, not inertia.
Alright.
Thank you, Ryzen. XG says Palace runs out of steam. Indeed. Very much so.
Just ran out. Yeah, just not... And then not using the options available. Equally, they probably would have preferred to have if you had your Aspin and your Potters available.
I mean, that's the other issue for Palace tonight, is that they don't have all their first team options available. Because if you think,
Yeah.
Elise Hughes starts, then you've got Stengel off the bench.
Yeah.
Or you've got Stengel and Hughes up front together, which I think is a more dangerous partnership. I know obviously they've been playing a 5-4-1.
And Stengel's got someone to work with. The amount of times the ball, especially first, well,
It's a
just
great ball down the line, and Guro Wrighton will latch onto it, and she'll look to bring it forwards for Chelsea. Then Ramirez now finds James. Ball out wide into Baltimore, who looks to take on the fullback ball into the box, and that's dealt with just about by Everett.
Yeah, better from Baltimore. She's taken on players. Struggled in the Villa game. Didn't really have the opportunity to beat people, but she's doing so tonight. But yeah, Palace, I think for their sake, they'll hope that they don't concede many more, or any more, really.
Well, they need to. With goal difference being could be so crucial in such a tight relegation fight, they need to try and keep that to a minimum.
Yeah.
Philip Smith says another easy win for the mighty Chelsea. I wouldn't describe this as easy. I think the scoreline flatters us somewhat. Palace have a good fight in the first half. In the second half, they've started to tire, and Chelsea have exploited that with their strength off the bench. But I certainly wouldn't say it's been easy. That's 5. It's a ball into the box. It's not dealt with by Crystal Palace, and it's touched out in the back post by Nasser Bjorn. And this is starting to get a little bit ugly for Crystal Palace. Good ball in to the box. It's not cleared away. Good touch home from the Swedish centre half.
Yeah, this is getting silly now. I mean, I think the goals for Chelsea they're getting simpler and simpler. They had to work hard to score the first 1, 2, 3. 4 and 5 have been too easy. This is simply
straight from Wrighton. Was there a touch in there?
I mean, Bjorn doesn't even realise that it was a Macario corner. They've swapped the corners out. Bjorn just passed it into net. That is way too easy from Palace. Just to let her just flick it in like that. That's such poor defending. And you can't get away with that against the best team, one of the best teams in the league. Natalie Bjorn finds the back of the net. And finally, Palace have now made another change. Larkin on for Green. But that's their second change. It's just too late. And they've lost and they've lost the ball again in the defensive area. And Everett puts out for a corner. No, goal kick. That looked like it was going to be a corner, but it's not a corner. But yeah, a tough night for Crystal Palace. I need to say about goal difference. I know it's been Chelsea and Tottenham, but that's 9 goals conceded in 2 games. It's tough. It is looking tough.
But I think you put it right there. It is against Chelsea and Tottenham. They've got to consider that. They're the first 2 WSL games. There is going to be a bit of naivety there, especially with this game here where they have no Aspin, they have no Lexi Potter, players who have experience playing at better clubs, who and Aspin have WSL experience.
Yeah.
I get why there will be cause for concern for Palace. I think there is definitely cause for concern. Don't get me wrong there. I just don't think it's PlayStation just yet.
There's also positives. Like, they've competed against Chelsea and Tottenham in the first half, and that's the problem. On the pitch, for me, 4 and 5-0 do not represent how Palace have played. The problem is, you get relegated based on what it says on paper. And on paper at the moment, it's not good enough from Palace.
Yeah, again though, I do think a lot of it comes down to individual quality. For me, this game would have been 0-0 at half time if it wasn't for Chelsea's individual quality and Palace making the smallest of errors, and that will get capitalised on the WSL. That's the issue, especially by teams like Chelsea and Tottenham. But yeah,
and Palace will learn, and their big game. We look at Chelsea and go, they're looking at United, they're looking at Palace's big games. They'll look at Everton, they'll look at West Ham, they'll look at Brighton. They're the big games Palace will look out for to take points in.
Yeah, indeed. Yes, I'm asking, is Wrighton playing? Yes, Wrighton scored the 4th for Chelsea. A really well taken finish, just drilling it into the bottom corner. Gilly asking about player of the match. We'll do that at the end of the game, Gilly. If you remind us then, we'll do our player of the matches. Because you never know, James might score another 2 and then suddenly it's Lauren James. So,
maybe.
Could change in the blink of an eye. Ryan says, cat set pieces are lovely. I think it's an underrated attribute of Macario's game is those deliveries, because that was a really good ball. Even if I know it was fortuitous in how it found Natalie Bjorn, but that easily could have been flicked on from Bright and been just as deadly a set piece.
Yeah.
So really effective ball into the box. But a Palace throw now on the far side. Stengel, one back in there by Lauren James, who will now look to bring it forwards for Chelsea. Goes back to Bright. Bright will take that in her stride. Now Bjorn. Finds Captain. Nice turn there from Captain to play out of trouble. Now Baltimore. Lovely footwork from Sandy Baltimore. James, effortless there. Lovely. She just brings that ball down so nicely. Switches direction there and knocks it back in. She easily could have lost possession, but she's just so calm and nonchalant about the way she does it.
Yeah.
It's bright. Regan Toops asks, sorry, who scored the last goal? It was Natalie Bjorn. Touched it home from the corner. There's a lot of goals to recount tonight, but it started with Beaver Jones finishing off a fast break. Then it was...
Bronze.
Yes, Lucy Bronze's well-placed finish. Lauren James finishing off a Myra Ramirez and Beaver Jones move, tapping home at the back post. Then Guro Wrighton. There's a nice final third link-up from Chelsea. Captain giving it to Guro Wrighton, who finished in the bottom corner emphatically. And then finally, that corner there, Macaro delivery, finding Bjorn at the back post, finishing off nicely. Chelsea in behind again. Ramirez won't get there. Yanez getting out to it comfortably. Yanez, again, hasn't had a bad game today.
No.
She made a couple really important saves in the first 45. The second half, it's been even more of an onslaught, and she saved some, but I think some of the ones she conceded, maybe she could have done more about, but most of them, there's not a lot she could have done.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Right. To be fair, I'm not sure which of the goals she could have done more about.
Yeah.
Like even the Beaver Jones one, I think would be hard.
She's made less saves today, but that's because she's been under less pressure. And yes, Chelsea haven't been very good. She made 12 saves.
Chelsea are more clinical than Tottenham.
Yeah, they are. But also they've had less chance. Palace have limited them. They haven't had 12 shots plus. Yeah, it's one of those where I think Palace have played better, despite the fact that the result is worse. But but they're playing against better teams, so everything kind of
mitigates. Yeah. And again, I don't think the Tottenham performance was bad at all. It's just some really sloppy errors.
Yeah.
Tonight, it's just they've run out of steam. They've tired, and Chelsea have just thrown on more attackers.
When you see Macario and Ramirez
at the moment, they've got 5 forwards on.
Yeah.
And just Vika Capti holding up the midfield. That's a pass back. No idea how that's not been punished.
Yeah.
Hayslip loves the rules, except for when she just blatantly ignores them.
Yeah.
But yeah. Jonathan Davies says, great coverage, guys. Thank you, Jonathan. Could do with another Ramirez goal for fantasy, really. Yeah, I think now it is just all about fantasy points. I'm looking for a Lauren James goal. If Carnereed fancies getting a goal from the bench, that'd be fantastic.
We might like a Guro goal.
Yeah, fair enough.
Millie Bright wants everyone home. Take that.
But yeah, good start to the game week for you then.
Very much so. Very happy.
9 from Wright and 6 from Bright and 4 from
At the moment, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
With bonus points to come. Potentially.
Only 4 from
Carnereed.
She got a assist.
3 for an assist, 1 for playing.
Yeah,
she didn't get 60 minutes.
Captain though.
Oh, 8 then.
Yeah.
Smashing it.
So that'd be 8, 9 and 6 if Chelsea hold firm.
If only Captain Guro Wrighton.
No.
Because Wrighton didn't... Yeah, Wrighton did start, so she will get 4 points. And the goal, which is 5.
Tell you what, Captain looks comfortable.
8 then.
She looks really comfortable.
Yeah, she's adapted to this level really nicely.
And she's currently the only midfielder.
The fact that she was considered for loan and yet Bompastor saw her play in pre-season, saw her train and went, I actually wanted to play. Here's Guro Wrighton, pounces on this ball. Looks like she might make something of it. Lauren James, can she deliver it? Whips it in there. Yanez claims it easily. Even the 20 manager said today at the EWCL draw that they will hardly miss Vika Capti. Really?
He's an idiot. I'm not being rude. I'm saying what everyone's thinking. He doesn't know what he's on about.
Yeah. Do you mean hardly miss or like really miss? Because I think really miss would make more sense. I think Captain's a brilliant player. From what I've seen so far, so comfortable receiving under pressure.
Yeah.
Quite a decent passing range as well. Strong tackler. There's a lot about our game I really like. I think, again, Chelsea's got a really promising future as well. Not only have they got a great side now, but you consider that Captain and Potter at 21 and 19 or something like that. I think that's your midfield sorted for 10 years potentially, which is insane.
LJ's still only 24.
Well, that's mental. Cuthbert's not going anywhere fast.
No, she'll be safer.
It feels mental to me that Russo is older than Lauren James.
Yeah, no.
Because Russo's been playing. I mean, I know Russo's been around for a while, but because of how James is considered in the global landscape, I think it's strange to me that she's. It surprised me that she's.
I mean, Russo could still be playing for Chelsea if she stayed, but she didn't, and now she's off. Went to Brighton, then went to United, and now at Arsenal.
Yeah, actually correcting saying really. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Don't worry. Jonathan saying bronze 3, Bright 2, Brighton 1 would be my guess for bonus potentially. Potentially, yeah.
I would like it to be Guro. Canary 3, Guro 2, and Bright 1.
Personally, with no bias added, I think it should be James 3, Carnery 2, and then don't maybe give James another one.
Yeah. Palace next 6 then. Leicester, Brighton, Liverpool, City, Everton, Villa.
Alex just pointing out, Sjogren can also just 23.
Wow.
Mental. What a player. What a squad Chelsea are building. But yeah, Palace, tough run.
They've got City and Liverpool in there, but they've also got Everton, Brighton, and...
I think Leicester are good now, though. Brighton look great. It's really tough, isn't it?
They've got Everton's base, but again, I think Palace can stay up if they beat Everton and West Ham. Simply, they can.
Yeah, if they can get a draw maybe against someone like...
And get
against Leicester or Brighton, I think that's really interesting.
Or Man United, when they eventually don't play very well.
Yeah, very true. Chen Louis saying I should have captained Bronze. Imagine if you use the wall and captain Bronze tonight, because Bronze is on 16, that'd have been doubled with the wall to 32, doubled again to 64. And with bonuses to come.
No way does that work like that.
Yeah.
That's mental.
I think that's how it works, isn't it, with the wall? Because you use the wall and that doubles your defensive points.
But can you
So I know players who won clean sheets this week will score double their clean sheet points. Okay, so it's not that mental.
Oh my God, I was going to say.
But it's still high.
That is because you think, so 16, they'll double the 6, so you get
and
another,
if you get
22,
as well,
so 44.
Yeah.
Wow.
We saw it last week with players that used the wall.
Yeah, it really annoyed me.
It's a great
because the rest of their teams did terribly. I'm just going to wait until Chelsea play Crystal Palace at Kings Meadow, and I'm just going to put a whole...
3 Chelsea defenders. Depends on if the fixtures line up.
Yeah.
So it's Manchester. Is it City against Everton or West Ham?
And I'm just going to have Hampton and Keat put both of them in.
2 goalkeepers.
Hampton's playing right centre half.
James. Baltimore. James. They're just walking around knocking balls out. I love watching
Chelsea's midfield
but
right now is Cap Dean and James in the pivot.
And I think Beaver Jones is playing.
Yeah, Baltimore's at left back.
And then it's Macara out on the right and on the left.
Yeah.
There's 2 up front. It's a front 4.
It's a 4-4-2.
It's just so much fluidity.
It's a 4-2-4.
It's a 4-2-4.
Yeah.
It's 2-4-4. The fullbacks are that high. Beaver Jones in a bit of trouble. Captain knocks it wide into Baltimore, who is in acres of space out here. Can she make something happen? Nice footwork. Takes on 2. Still going. Chance for Wrighton, and it's a goal. Palace 0, Chelsea 6. Guro Wrighton at the double. As Chelsea make it an emphatic victory here at Selhurst Park. It's a good finish from Guro. And Chelsea, well, what a win.
Yeah, brilliant. So Chelsea, Baltimore, brilliant down the left-hand side. Falls to Guro on her weak foot. It's not a great shot. It's not a bad one either. And that is big for Guro Wrighton. Finding a double.
I think you've won Fantasy WSL, by the way.
I'm having a great time. Imagine I captained her. That'd be phenomenal. But yeah, brilliance from Guro Wrighton.
You're 6th. That hasn't even
factored lovely goal.
Hasn't even factored in.
Yanez should do better. Defensively, you can't let Baltimore wriggle through like that.
And
Yanez should save it.
Got to do better with that one. I've not criticised it for many of the goals tonight, but that should be
I think that's the first goal. That's the first goal that goes down to Palace mistakes. The way Baltimore... No, did you not see how Baltimore ran...
but I think a lot of the goals you could say there's...
Oh, yeah.
There's always going to be a mistake in there.
I suppose, yeah.
But that one was the most blatant ones. Anyway, double change. Ashley Weirden and Poppy Pritchard on for Stengel and Blanchard. At this stage of the game, it's 4 minutes for Pritchard, which I don't get. What is the harm in playing her bring her on 10 minutes, 15
I
minutes
don't
earlier.
understand it. The subs
You're
have
not
come
giving
too
her a
late.
chance.
And that's the thing. Kaminski's learning as well as the players.
But Christ, is it an uphill battle? -10 the goal difference now for Palace. Yet to score a goal in the
Equally,
WSL.
who have Everton got this weekend?
Manchester United.
Is it? I thought it was Arsenal.
No, Arsenal play
That's
Leicester.
Leicester.
I'm not captain
I don't
Turner
know.
for no reason,
I'll
mate.
tell you what. Everton could be in a similar. I'm not saying that. But if United, I can see United scoring 4, and suddenly Everton are on -8, and for Palace, it doesn't look too bad.
True. By the way, so Jonathan Davies asked, do you have a fantasy league? Yes, the code is RE0JR2L.
Gotta type it in.
I can try and do that, yes. I will type it in manually.
I'll
I can't
remember
copy
it.
it.
I don't remember it.
Oh, I have copied it. I don't know how I've done that.
There we go.
Magic.
Yeah.
I'll put the code in chat. Obviously, it is game week 2 now, so you will be behind.
That's right.
But
Plenty of time. Plenty of way to go.
very true.
And a lot of people will not bother with their teams. Here's Macario. Finds Beaver Jones. Will it be 7? Not quite. Beaver Jones has still got it. Give it to Guro. Yes.
Finds Guro Wrighton. Chance for Guro. Goes to captain. Wrighton. Ramirez. Chester overplaying it now.
Tell Guro it's not passing.
It's annoying me that James is playing as a defensive midfielder tonight because I really need some fantasy WSL points and my forward's playing in DM. It's not helpful. 2 minutes to go. Bjorn. Now Bright.
Great turn from Beaver
Beaver
Jones.
Jones coming forwards. Can take aim. She's dragged that wide.
Should play it as captain.
Should have played it. Just turned around and gave it to Lauren James. Let her have a shot.
Ding dong to Guro.
No.
Bang. Look, Guro, right? Yeah, should have gone captain.
Yeah. Went alone. I don't mind it. We're 6-0 up. I'm not
exactly.
going to bemoan players for taking a shot at this stage of the game. But yeah, Guro Wrighton, hell of a game tonight. Player of the match. Is it Guro Wrighton? Is it Guro Wrighton?
Guro Wrighton, brilliant performance. Perfect for my fantasy RSL team. All round. Thank you very much, Guro Wrighton. Brilliant performance.
Yeah.
She needed that. Great to see Guro playing well.
Hard not to go Guro Wrighton. I could easily go Carnery because I thought she was excellent, but she did get hooked on 50 minutes. So, I subbed off, not hooked really. She got
Also,
assist.
whoever earlier said that Guro Wrighton is not a good player at half time.
Johnny Sims.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who Johnny Sims does rate. I don't know if you're still watching Johnny, but
Please let us know what you thought of this Guro Wrighton second half performance. I'd love to know.
I'm going to say a bit of a rogue shout for player of the match. I'll say Lauren James. Scored a goal. Has been literally everywhere. She's played defensive midfield. Boring. You've got Guro just same as the Sky broadcast.
Well, me and Courtney Sweetman Kirk on the same wavelength.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let her know that.
Mum was a bit of a better footballer though.
Don't slag off Courtney Kirk like that.
And the good footballer wasn't me.
No. What? Here is Lauren James.
We hit 94. He slipped. She wants to get to 95.
Hazel does what she wants. Perisay. Macario. Going to come forward to the ball now. Another chance for Chelsea. Plays through Ramirez. Bearing in on goal. Ramirez is going to spill to Macario. Goal for Chelsea. Palace 0. Chelsea 7. 7 heaven for Bompastor's Blue. Selhurst Park. It's not going to be a nice place to be for Palace fans this evening, but for Chelsea, well, some brilliant football. And a damning victory.
Yeah, it's tough. Welcome to the WSL Crystal Palace.
Indeed.
And we weren't comparing them to Bristol City, but Chelsea did put 7.
Yeah.
Pass.
I still don't want to...
No, I really don't think 7-0 is.
They're just tired at the end of this game so much. They've played 2 really tough matches to start the season. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but yeah, it's been an interesting start for Palace.
I don't think it was a 7-0 game, but the problem is you can't get away with that when you're going for you're trying to stay in the league. Equally, I don't know why we're still playing the game. To be fair to them. Why did we play the extra?
I don't know what the time added on this. I think Heaslip's lost the plot. I don't know why we're still playing now, and that will be full time here at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 0, Chelsea 7. An emphatic victory for the Blues. I mean, that was simply magnificent. You can't complain at a 7-0 victory, even if the opposition didn't make it hard for Chelsea in the last 20 or 30 minutes there. But yeah, phenomenal stuff. Johnny Sin saying, I swear Maccaro should start against Man United. Mikage, I think, saying Maccaro player of the match. You're saying you're rather critical of Gura in the first half. And rightfully so. I don't think Gura had a great first half. I thought a lot of her touches, a lot of her passes didn't come together. In the second half, though, but I never said she wasn't a bad player, and she showed that in the second 45. I thought she was absolutely magnificent. She kept picking up the ball in really good, really dangerous areas and striking it well, and you can see why, potentially, this is why Bompastor wants to play her in that role. However, if it means we're playing James at defensive midfield, I'm not sure if that is beneficial.
I don't know what Chelsea were doing at the end there, but it worked.
Very aggressive, very aggressive.
Was.
Jerry Webb saying Gura's not a good player, she's a great player. That's exactly right. Alex saying Cat needs to stay fit this season. Yeah, brilliant player, Cat Maccaro. If she can get consistent minutes, consistent game time, top player, it just makes the difficulty of picking that Chelsea front line even tougher, because we've not even got Sam Kerr back yet. How are you going to fit Sam Kerr into this Chelsea attack? We ended that game with 6 attackers on the pitch, and we still had Carnery on the bench. We didn't have Sam Kerr in the team, Fischel in the team. Hermano was sat on the bench. How do the minutes get shared this season? Well, it's a lovely problem to have. And, well, Chelsea emphatic in victory tonight with a comfortable 7-0 win. But yeah, that kicks off our WSL match week 2 then. We are back on Sunday for more with Manchester City versus Brighton. So do join us here for that. And then, yeah, obviously 4 more games. We won't be streaming those. But if you are in the Discord, we'll be talking about those throughout. So look out for that. But as the table stands then, Chelsea moved to top of the league. They are now on 6 points and a +8 goal difference, meaning that unless Brighton, Tottenham or Manchester United can win by 4 goals or 5 goals respectively, Chelsea will probably sit top of the table come the end of the game week. Palace rooted to the bottom with -11. A tough introduction to the WSL. And Ryzen asked you WSL group thoughts, so we haven't spoken about that. We can have a quick chat about that if anyone wants to have a chat. Justin Williams saying, thank you Justin for tuning in. UWCL group thoughts, Chelsea drawn with Real Madrid, Twente and Celtic, right?
It's a nice group. It's a really nice group. And that's exactly what you'd want from a Chelsea point of view.
I think Real Madrid will be a tough match. We saw how competitive they were last... Well, they weren't great last season, but we've seen how competitive they look in the Liga F so far. I think if they can bring that form into the Champions League, that looks really positive for them. And they should be quite comfortable ahead of Twente and Celtic. But Twente and Celtic, both good teams in their own right. Not teams that Chelsea should have any trouble against. But I guess we will see. Then we've got Manchester City, Barcelona, Hammarby and Bolton. That's another group that I think you've got 2 clear front runners there.
Yeah, again.
I think Hammarby's atmosphere can have an impact, and that'll be very interesting to see what they can do there. But yeah, that Man City Barcelona's going to be a really interesting game to watch.
Yeah.
And then we have on... What's the other groups? We've got Arsenal...
Bayern Munich,
Juventus and Valerenga.
That's strong. 3
really top sides, and it's not a nice draw for Arsenal at all. If I had to predict it, I would probably say Bayern and Arsenal through, but it's tough.
Yeah, it will be close.
That game between Arsenal and Juventus is going to be really tight. I think Bayern will top the group, but again, I'm not 100% on that, so it's going to be really, really interesting there. And then the other group is Lyon, Wolfsburg, Roma, and Galatasaray. Yeah. Tough draw for Galatasaray. I think that'll be really tough between those top 3 teams. Again, I think Lyon will probably just be clear. Wolfsburg as well, but Roma are a really tough side.
Yeah.
I know they weren't great in the UWCL last year, but I think they will be strong this year. So with Giuliani, with Giacinti, really strong team. So the Champions League draw was really interesting. And from Chelsea, we couldn't have asked for better as Chelsea fans, because I think Chelsea's group is very winnable, and all the other groups present reasonable challenges. We're going to see Barcelona actually have to play a difficult side in the group stage, which is good. I was worried they might just get a really nice group. And then Lyon with a tough group, Arsenal with a tough group. I think it presents well for Chelsea.
No.
So it's going to be good. And obviously that starts the week after next. We've got everything coming up now, because this weekend, obviously WSL. Then we've got more WSL next weekend. That's every weekend now. We've got UWSL coming back. We've got the Women's League Cup coming up soon. So lots of football to watch and get stuck into. So I'm very excited for it.
Yes.
But that is everything from us today. As I say, we're back on Sunday with another live stream. We'll be live streaming Manchester City versus Brighton from 12:15 BST, so do join us for that one. Other than that, if you're looking for something else to watch this evening or wherever you are in the world, it might be the morning, in which case you've got all day. You've got loads of content that we've been putting out to get through, so go and check that out. Last week we reviewed Matchweek 1. It's a bit late now, but if you haven't checked that out, then you might as well. And we also talk about Arsenal versus Manchester City, all our takeaways from the game, so go and check that out. And of course, there's loads of other content on the channel if you're looking for something to watch. But that is everything from us today. Thank you guys very, very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.